Hello everyone, this is going to be your February of 2026 Psychic Tarot reading, and we're going to pull cards from two different tarot decks, an oracle card, animal totem. We're going to pull lots from lots of love, lots of answers, lots of proverbs, and there is lots going on. I want to run down this astrology, and this is going to affect everybody because we're moving into eclipse season too. We're going to have the first of the 2026 year eclipses happening. There's quite a bit. It's the shortest month of the year, but I think it might be the most happening in the year. Big new beginnings. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Right away on the 1st, on in bulk, we have the full moon in Leo. 13 degrees of Leo happening at 5:09 p.m. Eastern. And then on the 2nd, Uranus, the planet of change and excitement and surprises, goes direct at 27 of Taurus, which is near that degree of losing your head thing. It's at 9:33 p.m. And it's been retrograde since November 25th. Or excuse me, it's been retrograde since early September, but it's been back into Taurus since November 25th. So it's got to go through the last few degrees of Taurus, and then it's going to move on to Gemini, I think, in April. Now, this is a big date, too. It's only a few days before... this is a big date as well. It wasn't a big... There's so many. The 13th, we've got Saturn moving into Aries at 7:11 p.m. Now, we're going to talk about that. That's, there's a lot to talk about that. But overall, the last time, if you were alive, it was in the late 90s, 96 through 99. So you can think about the karmic cycles. I'll probably end up doing a whole other reading on it. Okay, so then... like a few days later, here comes the eclipses. New moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, 2850 Aquarius. Also at that big last degree there, like 28, 29, the critical degrees they're called, squaring up with the Uranus. So, and Uranus rules Aquarius, which is the eclipse. So it's not a mutual reception, but there's even though it's Aquarius is the ruler, is Uranus, so it's very Uranian. Like things could change on a dime. It feels like things are getting shook and loose that have been stuck. That's the way you could maybe use the energy positively. Okay, 18th, Sun goes into Pisces, and this is the big date, too. I mean, the eclipse is big, that's big, but the 20th is that Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 Aries. This is big. 0 Aries is the 0 point, like the point of creation, and these two outer planets are conjuncting there. Now, they've met up before, but not at the 0 Aries point. They met up if you were born in the late 80s, when the harmonic convergence was going on, we had the big lineup in Capricorn. And many people who are born in the late 80s will have the Saturn-Neptune conjunct in Capricorn, and other planets too. Whoops. But this is the first time, I didn't even do the research, but I know it's been many years. For sure, nothing like this in our lifetime. And so it is this huge turning point. Now, if that weren't enough, on the 26th, we've got Mercury turning retrograde at 22 of Pisces. So, wow. Again, the shortest month of the year, but packed full of events. I mean, I don't know if there's another month that's going to have as many major astrological... I mean, we're going to have another eclipse next month in March. But, I mean, this other stuff, this is really impactful. Hold on to your britches, my guys are saying. Wow. I am introducing this month, too, another featured reading, which is going to be the Aries Ingress. I do offer this every year because that is the 0 Aries point. That's when the sun goes 0 Aries. That is the ingress of the new beginning of the astrological new year, because it starts over with the first sign of the zodiac. So this is a big event to predict like your year ahead. Because it's falling in so close with these first rounds of eclipses, I will definitely also discuss them. I'm not going to run charts for everything. I'll just run your chart with the Aries ingress, and then we will discuss these eclipse points for sure, where they're hitting in your chart. So, lots of stuff happening. Without further ado, let's go into the sign by sign. This should be displayed on the bottom, as always, in the, you can scroll using that scrubbing thing. But if you're having trouble with that, you can always just look over here and see that I do have whatever sign is being read. It's over here on display. All right, well, I think we'll do Rock and Roll Tarot on top, and then we'll do Hanson Roberts underneath. Yeah, people will say, why do you keep this out here? I keep it out here because I can refer to it. Like, I'll watch astrologers, and they'll say a date, and then they're talking a long time about this date, but I already forgot, what date did they say? So this way, if you have it right in front of you, I can point out the dates that I'm talking about. And it's also just a little reminder for me. But that's just the way I do it. Okay, so here we go, Aries. Well, I mean, it's you. It's all about you, Aries. The Saturn moving back into your sign, you're going to get really serious about some shit, basically. Good time to make long-term foundations. You might have to slow down a little bit. The Saturn conjunct Neptune in your sign, I mean, big news. I mean, many of you could really benefit from this Aries Ingress reading this month, I want to say. Well, you can get it. It'll be available this month and next. But I like to, spread it out a little bit and not get hammered at the last minute. But, wow, I mean, it's so powerful. I mean, many of you are just really... it could be absolutely life-changing, but it's not necessarily just right on that day, but in the upcoming energetic influx is influencing you. I mean, you're right there. I mean, well, you do lead the pack. You are the first sign of the zodiac. All right, let's get 3 cards for February of 26 for our Aries friends. We have the Two of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Justice. As always with this deck, my Rock and Roll Tarot, if any of those words or shapes or colors or anything catch your eye in the background, then go ahead and, take that into account, because you may be getting a message from your actual spirit guides, through those words. That's why they're on there. And this deck is available to work with if you want to find out about it. Oh, I forgot to put up my little sign, all my information sign. Aries, you're first. You get to go first in the readings, but almost always there's some kind of little minor adjustment. And I even sat here almost like with a checklist, like, okay, I've got the crystals, I've got this, I've got that, because I want to stop doing that on your reading, but it just seems like it always happens. Yeah, anything for me, head over to the website. Back to you. 3 cards for Aries for February. Ooh, well, how many flew out? 3 flew out. Okay, well, there's your 3 cards, I guess. You know what, too, I want to do, I think, I always have to make these adjustments. I think we can zoom in a little bit more. Maybe not quite that much. A little. I want to get these things in the screen here, too. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll scoot the whole reading up so we have room for the lots. Okay. Well, you notice that you have 0s and 2s and 3s. These are low numbers. So well, the 0 Aries point, this time of major new beginnings for you. It's about keeping it light. You're ending, well, Saturn is the Lord of the Karma. So you are ending a major karmic cycle here, that's for sure. And I feel like for the most of you, that's what the Justice is talking about. The end of some major karmic cycle. It could also be, for sure, some kind of legal thing that comes up. You're signing a contract or some other good thing like that. I think this looks better maybe this way, huh? Definitely looks better that way. Okay. But you do have Justice card here. It almost feels like this is a finishing up, though. It really does. It's a finishing up. And you're free. Some of you might be retiring. You might be collecting your pension or something like that. Or, Social Security, going and getting your Social Security or something like that. Or maybe you graduated school or one of your kids did. But it feels like it's this big wrapping up of this big cycle. And for many, if it is a karmic cycle, again, it may date back to the late 90s, if you are old enough to remember the late 90s. Particularly 96 through 99, that would have been the last time that Saturn was going through the sign of Aries. But see, last time Neptune wasn't going to join it. It's going to be it's different. But as far as just the karmic cycles that are going on, highly likely something that you initiated and started back in the late 90s. And let's say you have kids, then your kids are grown now, they're in their 30s if you that was like 30 years ago. So maybe you were born then and you're having a Saturn return, But anyways, so this does feel like major cycles are wrapping up and completing, because the scales being balanced is the part that's really grabbing my attention. So whatever needed to be corrected, balanced, etc. has been. Okay, and you're looking forward to the future. And there's correspondence going on. You might hear something. This is air sign energy. Well, we will be in air sign Aquarius all the way up to the 18th. But when I saw this, I thought it might be on that eclipse, that Aquarius eclipse. Because it is connected right with the sun. And it is a solar eclipse, a new moon eclipse. And an air sign. So that makes perfect sense that it might be on or around the 17th. Or that might be the event that triggers this. And it's funny, I want to use the word correspondence, which is not a word I would usually say, but that could mean a lot of things. You know, that could be through emails, probably more likely emails, DMs, texts these days. But you may need, if you're negotiating something, or you could even hear, hey, maybe you got some inheritance for some. That's not as strong as some of these other options, though. But, you know, you're making your plan, and then it feels like this is maybe paperwork or things that have to be signed or turned over, or maybe if you are retiring and maybe you have other accounts like an IRA, or so you've got to go through and get all the paperwork organized and stuff like that. That's what it feels like, because the Fool is definitely stepping out into a new direction, and he's happily setting out on his journey. Both of these two cards are very much about setting your foot upon a journey, looking towards the future. Both are. He holds the little flower. He holds the globe. He's got the world in his hand. And then the Sun card is right at the center of it. Again, highly likely it could be some connection to the solar eclipse. That's the big solar event, sun event, this month. But Sun is also just a fantastic card. I mean, it just means you're beaming. You're beaming out light, and people are attracted to you. You've got that magnetism going on. I feel like you're happy to be free of whatever this is. That's really strong what it feels like, okay? And then you're going to be building something. You're going to be working on, for some of you, I feel like you're going to be working on the thing that makes you joy. It feels really strong. This is like somebody's retiring. They're going to retire, and then they get to do their woodworking or painting, or develop that craft or that skill or that hobby. Devote more time to doing what lights you up, what brings you joy and happiness, not necessarily what you have to do to make money. Or maybe some of you are going to be making a big sale, or maybe somebody's going to be commissioning you to do just that. What am I hearing? A sculptor. It's maybe a sculpture, but I'm hearing that song. What is it? If I was a sculpture, but then again, no, a man who makes potions in a traveling show. Oh, don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. It's Elton John. I can't think of the name of it. But anyways, yeah, but this is you getting to do what you want to do now. Or maybe some of you you got out of a job. Maybe like some people have to put, if you have a government job or something, or some union jobs, you have to put your 20 years in, or your 25 years or whatever it is, and then you've done, like you've finished this current contract, whether it is a karmic contract, but it's also, you maybe got out of a job that you hated and landed your dream job. You might be embarking on that path, But it feels really positive, and you're never going to have this power again of the 0 Aries point thing. So everybody, it's a new beginning for everybody. But you guys, come on, this is get your manifestation stuff together here. Harness that energy and be clear about where you want to direct that powerful reset that we're all getting, because it's in your sign. You have the most power of anybody. Okay, let's get your animal totem for Aries. Okay, let's go. Grasshopper by leaps and bounds. Yeah, life-changing, leaps and bounds. Well, another thing is about the grasshopper is the grasshopper wants to leap to where the sun shines. That's why they leap from the blade of grass to blade of grass. They want to be in the sun. So you're going to be leaping out into the sun, into what makes you shine. Okay, I'm wearing the wrong glasses. It's the first time I've had to read words. Much better. Health, blessings, fertility, the gift of song. Inspired creation reveals your true spirit. Reincarnation, discovering your soul path. Advancement by leaps and bounds. Yeah, that's what I was saying, advancement by leaps and bounds. Okay, we got to do the lots, or the Holy HAMSA. Holy HAMSA card for Aries, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who is Aries energy. Let's see. Purge. Yeah, well, I would be doing that now if you're watching this, which most people probably are. This is one of the last, it's the second to last. If you want to, I'm just pulling up, it's card 49. And if you want to pause the video and dive into some of those background words, it's also kind of, I like to use text as a design tool, if you haven't noticed. But that could help you too. Yeah, this is the second to last card in the deck too. And it is about the releasing stuff. So as we're leading up to all these new beginnings, between now and then, this will be a really good time for you to be purging. That makes perfect sense. Okay, card number 49, adapt, evolve, cycles. We all change and grow as we progress along our soul path. The snake sheds its skin, the bird its feathers, the flower its petals, the butterfly comes out of the cocoon. None mourn the loss for what was. All are immersed in a cycle of transformation. Life is not stagnant. We are not meant to stay in one place for our entire existence. The time has come to purge the old so that the new can be born. Perhaps you will need time of isolation while going through this metamorphosis. When the time is right, you will emerge revived and ready to test your newly found wings. Yeah, that thing about the isolation, too. You know, dive into that stuff that you're into. And that's another thing. I know normally you're not really a alone time person, unless you have like 12th house or Pisces stuff in your chart, which you could. But that's another thing with next month, or it's already in there. That's another thing that the Neptune energy can really help you with that. You know, just finding that center, getting that quiet space. Okay, let's see here. It says student, and that's a card of student too. Maybe you paid off your student loans. Maybe that's what the end of that cycle, or for some it could be your kid or somebody, or yourself. But I think, you know, with the sun card, sometimes that's a younger person too. So it could be, and this is a younger person as well. So it could be a child. It can be different for everyone. Okay, lots of answers. It says likely. By the way, these are all things that I've made other than this deck. I make all these decks and these lots. And if you want to work with them on your own, you can find links at my website or below. All right, let's see here. Last card, lots of proverb. It says, make love, not war. Well, you know, you're ruled by the god of war, Aries. That's the god of war. So yeah, but this reading even gives off that vibe of that really positive energy and love vibes. Also, Neptune is very much a love vibe energy too. You know, that's bringing the major love vibes to you too. Not that you aren't or weren't loving prior, but just you know, creativity is going to be enhanced. A lot of things are going to be enhanced. Do I have a smaller one of these? I think they're all the same size. All right, Aries. Well, I mean, it's a powerhouse, and it's all about you. It's all about you and your house and your sign. I mean, if you want to order that Aries Ingress reading, I mean, you know, no obligation, but I think many of you could really benefit from it. It's probably going to be one of the only astrology readings this year. And I will throw in, I am planning on, we'll talk about and mention where the eclipse points are, these first two eclipses. So it's kind of a eclipse and Aries Ingress reading. But yeah, we'll look at where those new beginnings are in your chart. Because even if your Aries sun sign, your rising is going to be different. You know, it might be. You know, it could be, this is one of the readings where I actually do run your astrology chart. So I don't always do that. Okay, so it is a psychic astrology reading, no cards involved. So know that up front too. But I like working in that way too. So it should be good. Okay, Aries. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, just super powerful. I look forward to hearing from some of you. Set your manifestation. You know, get that list ready. Get that going. Start purging the things you don't want to work towards, and not work towards. My guides corrected me right away on that. To invite in the things that you do want. Not work towards. Invite in. Welcome. Welcome them. All right, well, that was some powerful mojo with the Aries. Let me clear the air here. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Taurus. All right, hello, Taurus. Well, you know, nothing is well, actually something is happening in your sign. I'm so caught up in the Aries energy. And what's happening in your sign this month is that the planet Uranus is going direct in your sign at 27 of Taurus. Now it's coming to the end and it'll be on its way. It'll be out of there, I think, in April forever. Well, not forever, but for 80-something years. So I know it's been hard and uncomfortable for many Taurus people to have that energy in your, in your field, because it's very contradictory to who you are. So I feel like it's like the last leg of your journey. And then you're going to be able to acclimate and be more of yourself again, I want to say. Okay, let's do 3 cards for our Taurus friends. We've got Page of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and 3 of Wands. And then we're going to do 3 from the Hanson Roberts deck for Taurus for Sun, Rising, Moon, February 2026. I'm going to probably do a big video on the eclipses, and I don't know if I can get into much astrology in here, because we got a lot of cards to get through, but I'm going to do some other separate videos, all signs videos too on this. Ace of Cups, Page of Swords. Page of Swords was out in the last reading, but he was on this deck. Okay, news coming in the time of air. Well, we are in air for up until the 18th when we move into water. Well, isn't that interesting? Because here's the air, and then the Ace of Cups could be the water. So it might be something right around this transitory period where this news is coming. This news is coming that you've been waiting for some time here. With this Strength card here, you've been waiting maybe even since Leo time or something, and in that case it might even be Leo full moon there right on the first and in bulk. So there's things that have been stagnation, stalled, are going to be finally starting to kick in. And like I was saying, what I was picking up, another thing that this Ace of Cups can talk to us about is that, you just start to feel better. You're starting to feel more like that you don't have that Uranus kind of agitating you anymore. It's been going on for a good long time here, 7 years or something. So it's not just a small, short transit. This is a card of that poverty consciousness or whatever, but I also feel like you've just been feeling rattled. When, like, I'm like that. I need a lot of peace and quiet time. And if I have to be exposed to a lot of noise and I just don't get, I feel like this. I just feel drained and robbed of my energy, And I feel like that's how a lot of you have been feeling too. Some of you, there is some kind of thing though where you feel like you really got ripped off by somebody. And my first instinct was to say that it was family. Like there may have been a will or something, or I feel like there's things being passed down through families, inherit. And honestly, I don't know that it's money, maybe for some, but it really feels like, there's one person, or, you're getting the short end of the stick is what they're saying. Like, my old mom always promised me that I was going to get that ring when she passed, and then one of the other siblings or somebody comes in and grabs it. Or, it just feels like that. Like, there's a lot of people vying for somebody's stuff. Or they may still be living. Like some people, start dumping their stuff when they're still alive. Here, I always wanted you to have it, to make sure it goes to who they want. But it feels like for somebody, there's like this big shocker. Like, how did you get? It feels like a ring or a piece of jewelry. Like, how did you get Grandma's ring? That was always promised to me. Others of you, it could be some kind of thing about a job. Like, this doesn't feel like, could have been fired or laid off, but it feels like cut back. Like maybe your hours get cut back or something like that. And, you're just like, well, it's whatever it is, it's trying to force you to go look to other horizons over here. there's more to the world than just this little whatever's happening here. This feels like it's draining you, it's making you feel less than, you feel robbed, you feel betrayed in some cases. And they're trying to show you, look out over the horizon, because the universe doesn't just, isn't out to hurt you or mess with you, okay? The universe is trying to guide you and push you in the right direction. And with Uranus, Taurus, you're a fixed sign, and you're the most fixed of the fixed signs, I would say. And so you do like to hang on. You don't like you're getting your feathers ruffled or changing plans and stuff like that. So, you're the status quo. Outside the status quo is what my guides are saying. You may have to step outside the status quo because Uranus is shaking it loose. Here's the other thing. When a planet leaves a sign, which again, that's not going to be, I believe, till April. But April, let me double check on that. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's going to be it'll be Taurus season, end of April, April 25th. Uranus will move out of your sign. But just the fact that it's kind of on its way, it's traveling through the last few degrees of your sign right now, okay? It's a lot of times on these big transits, you'll get the gift. Where maybe you had frustration, and maybe you were struggling, and maybe there was, you didn't want to change. You didn't want to let go. It was chaos. Uranus can bring the chaos. It really can. And you don't like that. So you're trying to restabilize yourself. My guide said to no avail. Trying to restabilize yourself to no avail. But now you can see the silver lining, I guess you could say. The way this looks in these clouds, it's like the silver lining. There's the silver. And, all that love and creativity and good stuff bursting forth. And I feel like this Ace of Cups is going to wash all that away. Just going to wash it all away. Any doubts that you're having or whatever's happening, there's something that you're maybe not seeing yet. You have had strength and hang in there and have patience. There's something coming though, and it's going to begin to appear this month, and it's going to lead to better things for you. It's gonna, Uranus. If you're fighting to hang on to something, don't. Okay, Uranus is gonna win in the end. Okay, so just let it go. Whatever's trying to be removed from your life. I know it might be like your regular human mind is like, but I can need that. I can't. Just go with this energy. I know it's woo woo AF, but this is what's being advised for sure, and that's the energy of Uranus too. You've got to let go of stuff when Uranus goes through your sign. Let's get your animal totem for more insights for Taurus. Well, a couple of them flew on the ground, but you got the lightning bug. Which ones flew on the ground over here? Or was it just one? Let me see. Oh, you got I'll give them both. You got lightning bug and hummingbird. Really, both excellent energy. Both very light energy though too. Very light, bright, magical. Both are very magical. Okay, I'm not going to read all the descriptions. I know basically, I wrote the descriptions. So the thing about the lightning bug is that they create their unique patterns. And everybody has a unique path to go by, or a unique mate, or somebody. Some of you could be falling in love too. You might hear, this could be a new beginning in love. But they each has its own vibratory energy. And so when this card comes up, it's like you're being called to follow your own vibratory energy, not go along with the pack, not stay stuck where you were, especially if there's been a lot of frustration. It does say the call of the soulmate, and this is very much a love card. Hummingbird is one of the big love cards. It's also fairies, being in nature, flowers, the flowers are blooming. This almost feels to me with this, well, it could be a new beginning in love again, but it feels like we might be talking about, well, in bulk, you have the little snow crocuses, or the snow bells in the flowers. But it's funny I said crocuses, because that's what I was really thinking of. Like, as we move into, like, Aries ingress time, and the spring in the northern hemisphere, the spring flowers start to pop up. I feel like what's starting now, you'll be able to really see it by the time we get around into that, that time frame. All right, well, let's pull lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Let's see here. We have soulmate. Well, soulmate is mentioned twice. Soulmate is mentioned in this card, and soulmate is mentioned here, and it's popping up right under the Ace of Cups. So maybe for some this is a soulmate. It can represent more than one people. That's what people don't get. Well, you said this was the person that was screwing me over. Well, it can represent that, and it can also represent the soulmate. It's not just, I could do a whole reading off of one card, all right, and talk away for forever. This looks a little prettier and nicer. You know, the cards keep talking to me, and the energy keeps talking to me, and it's boundless. The tarot is boundless as far as the different interpretations you can have for it. And the more you use your psychic energy, the less you get away from everything's got to be, you know, just whatever, cut and dry. Okay, lots of answers. It says eventually, yeah, having strength, eventually. And then finally, the lots of proverbs. For Taurus. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Yeah, you gotta be brave. Uranus is pushing you to be brave and venture out into new areas that light up your heart and your soul in whatever way. If it is creativity, if it is a love affair, if it is, you know, soulmate could be a creative collaboration too, or, you know, it could be somebody hiring you for a job too, because many of the people that hire us for jobs are soulmates. You know, they're just not, soulmate is not limited to just romantic interactions, okay? All right, Taurus, well, if you want to get in on the Aries ingress reading, it's kind of like a twofer, well, or even a threefer, if that's a word, because we're gonna do the Aries ingress chart. It's a psychic astrology reading, but we'll also dive into these eclipses. We will definitely discuss where those eclipse points are hitting in your chart. And this is one of the readings where I do actually run your chart, so I do need like a birth status, you know. I can do it without the time, but it's very much better if you do have the time. It'll be much more accurate, okay? Next we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. Hello Gemini, this is going to be your February of 2026 Psychic Tarot for Gemini Sun, Rising, and Moon. Well, nothing exactly in your sign, but everybody's going to feel this first eclipse. And one thing that is really probably going to affect you more than others is at the 26th when Mercury turns retrograde. Now, it's not in your sign, but Mercury is your ruling planet. So often Geminis will really feel that, the power of that. I'm going to try to do some more videos on some of these astrology things because there's quite a bit of them that are coming up this year. Or this month. This is enough for a whole year. It's all this month, so it's, but I think that might be the biggest pivotal moment for you. Now the first eclipse is going to be an air energy enshrining you, so that could be favorable actually. But let's go, like I said, I'll probably post some other videos, or if you want to really dive into it on your own, of course I'm offering that Aries ingress reading, which we're going to talk about all of all this astrology stuff that's going on here will be included in the Aries ingress reading. So let's go ahead and get 3 more cards for Gemini Sun, Rising, Moon for February. Uranus is going to be going into your sign, but it's still in Taurus, but it's heading your way. That's going to be some exciting news later in the year too. Okay, well we've got you got a lot of cards of tension, surprisingly, Gemini. Usually you guys are pretty easygoing, easy to get along with. You don't let a lot of stuff, you know, bother you. But all 3 of these cards are, it's interesting because this is feeling like I'm trapped, I'm stressed out. This is feeling like I'm blocked and I can't go any further. This is feeling like I want to be on guard. I feel like I have my defenses up, or even just being exhausted too is another one of these. So you got those 3 are kind of similar, and it's interesting that these 2 are kind of similar too. Both of these cards are like stepping. Well, for sure the Hermit rather is like stepping back from that stress. When I said stepping back, and I was, you know, I was going to say and take a, you know, a look from a higher perspective, and the Byron Katie stuff came through. Is it true? Is it really true? If you're not familiar, definitely look up Byron Katie. I think she even has like a free worksheet or something you can do. But when you kind of step back from the situation, is it true? Is it really true? It calms your mind down. And we're living in such a state of almost a state of an emergency. You know, there's just so much chaos in the world right now. It could boggle anybody's mind, even you, Gemini, even though you're so mentally on top of everything, and you know, you've got that Mercury Quicksilver energy to process things, but even you sometimes have to step back and make, you know, take some reflection. The moon is also an energy of like going within and trusting your intuition. And because one of the things about this card in particular, she's not seeing the truth. Okay. You may, well, let's see. You're not seeing the truth because you're too much in your head. And that is something you definitely have a tendency toward. You know, you can get too much in your head. She's blindfolded. She can't see. She can't see that there's a way out. There's a way out of this situation. And your higher guidance is with you all along, trying to lead you. It's almost like they're trying to lead you through a maze. You know, you're trying to get out of this maze. And there's twists and turns in this maze is what they're showing me. And that you can't see from, you can't figure it out, number one. It's not going to be solved in your head mentally. And she's blindfolded too. Look at that, I didn't even catch that. You got two. Both of these people are blindfolded. So you are not seeing things clearly. I think there's only 2 cards in the deck that have blindfolds, and there they are. And so definitely, either you're not, I feel it's mostly you're not seeing things clearly, but it could also just be maybe something's hidden from you. Well, it's definitely hidden from you. The moon is more about going within, but also since we are having the first eclipse, well, it's a new moon solar eclipse. Well, we'll have a full moon on the 1st, too. It could even be then. But I'm thinking, since we're in eclipse season, probably more geared towards this new moon solar eclipse on the 17th, which that will be trining your energy. And there's pathways and doors that are opening that you can't see from this perspective, and you're not going to figure out in your head here, in your monkey mind, but that your higher guidance and your higher self can see. And it's more about doing your inner work right now. It's not trying to make it happen or figure out a plan or try to figure it all out. I know that's your jam and you're really good at that. You're really good at figuring things out. You know, mental agility is really, you know, that's big time Gemini all day long. But in this case, it's like slow your roll, back off, take some time. Plus, just with all the shifting energies, you know, I would probably give that advice pretty much to almost any sign, you know, because there's just so much going on, and then we're going to be running into that Mercury retrograde also. So, slow your roll, consult your higher guidance, go more with your feelings, get more information, because another thing, the moon can also be things hidden from you. So some of you, things are not what they appear. I'm just going to leave it at that. Things are not what they appear. You know, I keep wanting to call him the high priest, but he's the hermit, of course. I guess he could be called the high priest. I should put that somewhere. So if I ever do another deck, which I doubt I will, but let me write that down somewhere. I don't have anywhere to write it. I'll probably forget. Oh well. But this high priest here, this hermit, what was I saying about it? Oh, that's also wise guidance and wisdom. So this could be something maybe you need to actually talk to a person, you know, like an advisor of some sort. And I don't feel like it's necessarily a psychic advisor. I feel like it's you don't know what you're getting into. Like, it feels like technicalities. So this could be the lawyer that knows, or tax. People are doing their tax. We're getting their tax season. Maybe you need to talk to a tax specialist who knows all the ins and outs of, because maybe there's something you're missing, or, you know, it's going to be different for everybody. But things aren't as bleak, or it's not so cut and dry as you think. There's wiggle room. There's malleability. There's cracks where you're just not seeing them right now. And again, you may not see them on your own. You have to consult with somebody, whether higher source or a person or both. And these full moons, you may just get the downloads too if you are going on, you know. If you are going on, I don't know what I was trying to say, but what I was trying to mean, the meaning I was trying to convey was that, you know, you may get these psychic hits and downloads or realizations, especially maybe even on the full moon in Leo. because full moons bring those enlightenments, you know. Okay, let's get animal totem, cheetah. Cheetah says there's multiple opportunities. Cheetah's major abundance, having a lot of, what do you call it, in the air. I keep wanting to say a lot of ducks in the air, but that's ducks in a row. Where you're juggling a lot of plates or whatever the expression is. That's you. You know, you may have you may have more than one thing going on, and that's your duality nature anyway. You're the twins. You always have. You're always busy. You're multitasker. Okay, empath, healer. There you go, empath, healer, prolific creator. Things happening at lightning speed, staying alert to synchronistic signs and symbols. The path of the soul practitioner. Okay. Well, let's jump over and get your the Holy HAMSA card for you. This is for Gemini, for Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody Gemini that represents something to you. Then this is for you. Messages. Well, that's the Mercury. This is very much a Mercury card. This is from my deck, the Holy HAMSA. I'm trying to get it in focus, so if you want to look at some of these background words, there's it's clearer to see it in person, not on camera, but there's cursive writing. And if any of that, resonates, stands out to you, or even the images on the card, that could be, it's card 41. It says text, Mercury, communication. News is coming quickly, auspicious plans unfolding. The message card encompasses all modes of communication, both past, present, and future. Texting, direct messaging, FaceTime, Zoom, phone calls, and the like. We live at such a fast-paced world, with no signs of slowing down. This card may indicate the time is right to reach out to that important contact to get the favorable response you are hoping for. Keep a watchful eye on your inbox for important messages that may be coming your way. Communications of all kinds are favored when this card makes the appearance. Yeah, until the 26th when we get into the Mercury retrograde, but yeah, that would be true. But again, this is all you. Mercury, this is your jam. This is your energy. Okay, first, lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Devoted. So somebody's devoted to you, you're devoted to them. It could be you're devoted to trying to figure out these old habits died hard. I got figured out in my head. Okay, next we have positive. And then finally, the lots of Proverbs is going to be, I can get one, there it is. Be careful what you wish for. I would adjust that and just be careful what making decisions. Be careful what you decide to do. Don't go into anything blind. Do your research. Talk to an expert. These kinds of things. Oh, excuse me. I choked on my own saliva. Okay, Gemini. I hope you got something out of this reading. If not, then check your sun, rising, and moon. Don't forget about the Aries ingress reading, which will also talk about the eclipses. Have a great one. We'll be back again soon. Hello, Cancer. Thanks for tuning in for your February of 2026 Psychic Tarot reading. There's quite a bit of astrology. If you skip the intro, I recommend that you do listen to it because there's a lot of stuff going on. First card you have is the Tower. Next we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. That was out in the last reading. Next, I'm going to get these a little bit straightened out, and then we're going to shuffle again for the Cancer reading for February of 2026. Anybody who has Cancer in their chart. 1, 2, 3. Hangman. 3 of Wands and 5 of Swords. Well, you're another one that's probably going to be having some break free or breakthrough. I was trying to say breakthrough moment, and break free moment was coming out. Yeah, so Tower is no small thing, okay? Tower is, it's a big shakeup, it's a big change, all right? And but I feel like it was breaking through whatever was going on here. There was a situation where you felt stuck and you didn't see a way out. And I'm quoting that Michael Beckwith, where it say, out of nowhere, a way will come. Out of no way, a way will come. And there is a moon on this card too. So it could even be the full moon right at the beginning on Leo here. But you know, another thing for you, the Aries ingress isn't this month, although I'm going to start offering the reading a little ahead of time. It'll be next month. But this Aries, zero Aries point here, this Sun, Saturn, Neptune thing, I say it all the time, you're one of the cardinal cross. So when that goes in, that's going to create a square. So sometimes squares can force or make things happen. So maybe it's a new beginning. You know, but sometimes it's with the Tower. It's like you can't go back. You just really can't go back. Now, I don't know that you're going to jump. There's big money available to whatever this is. I mean, for some of you, this could be some kind of huge hit the lottery or get an inheritance or something crazy, you know, like that. But for others, I feel like it's saying, number one, you're going to be financially secure if this is a career or job transition. You're going to be all right. And number two, I feel like you need to take some time to process whatever this. Maybe it's already happened. Sorry if you heard my dog over there choking. I was choking in the last sign. He is now. I'm sorry about that, Cancers. He's in the other room. I hope you don't hear it too loud. He does that. He's an old dog. He's okay. He just does that. But we were talking about, you know, taking some time to process. That's what the Hangman is about. Hangman's not getting strangled or strung up. He's there of his own volition. He's there getting enlightenment and downloads. See that enlightenment around his head? And, you know, he's learning about himself, learning about life, and thinking about what his next move is going to be. But he's in receiving mode, too. He's receiving knowledge and enlightenment. Because this also lines up with, this Ten of Pentacles also lines up with your ships coming in, the Three of Wands. So, out of this big shakeup, some sort of big success is coming, and it looks like it's major financial success. Are you afraid to accept it? Is it too big of a jump? Is it too scary for you? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you stuck in old belief patterns? You know, you may want to check yourself on that. You know, which we all are. You know, it's a never-ending process, isn't it? You just keep pulling back you thought you had all that dealt with, and here comes some more, and you just like the onion or the rose petals. You know, they just layer upon layer, layer, layer. There's more and more and more. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel with this. There's a reward. There's things getting better. Beyond the Ten of Pentacles, which is the most, you know, the biggest pentacle card, and it's money and property, all this stuff. The family, especially on this one, some of the other ones, they look like some old-fashioned, those photos from like 100 years ago where they all look like corpses or something, you know. Well, they actually did photograph corpses even, but this one, I like look at the family. Even the dog, everybody's happy. We're all in this, you know, we're all in a really good place here. And you have the support, you have this closeness. So things are going well on whatever. This was a much needed, you know, removal. I'm trying to say purging and removal at the same time. Removal, they want me to say. All right, let's jump over and get the animal totem. The word 5, well, this is the 5 of Swords, but that 5 is grabbing me big time. So has it been 5 years, 5 months? Is it the 5th? Is 5 a figure associated with that pentacle thing? Add the appropriate amount of zeros, you know, whatever it is. But that grabbed me. It's going to be relevant for somebody. Okay, let's get our animal totem. The bee, busy as the bee, but it's always also the birds and the bees. It's propagating that flower, baby. Okay, fertility, abundance, creativity, propagation, strong connection to home and family. Well, I mean, and that's you anyway, Cancer. That's your 4th house. That's you. Accomplishing tasks in a timely manner, taking time to taste the sweet nectar of life. Yeah. it feels like it's a lot of this stress is like, or maybe it's some great new job and it's just like, well, I don't know, it's almost like stepping out. There's going to be an element of stepping outside your comfort zone here. That's what I want to say. And the other thing is, I bring it up in every reading, I know, but Jupiter is in your sign. I mean, because that gives you that extra luck and that extra good fortune, okay? Finally, let's get our, not animal totem, but our holy HAMSA card for Cancer. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. This is crazy. You got the home card. This is probably, if I were to assign astrology signs in this deck, this would be your card. Yeah, I mean, basically everything we've been talking about. And it's funny how it's the property and all that, but I zoomed in on the family, not even, at that minute I wasn't even thinking about, oh yeah, well, Cancer is home and family. I was just, having a little bit of a psychic download there. Here we go. Home, lair, haven, sanctuary. Home is where the heart is, a place to call your own. We all need a place to call home, whether it is a brick and mortar building or simply a state of being. A place that is filled with love and good fortune for all who dwell there. Exactly what I was picking up. If you have been wanting to move, this card may denote just that. A change for the better in your living situation is indicated. In some cases, you may be moving in with a partner and building a love nest. A sense of contentment and peace fills your heart as you lay your head down for the night. Yeah, that makes sense too. All right, let's see here. Let's get the love, lots of love, whether it pertains to love or not. It says growth. Well, that could be applied a lot of different ways. You can take that as it resonates. Next, we have lots of answers, and it says plausible. So that means, yeah, probably, could be. It's doable. Doable. Okay. And lastly, the lots of proverb. Life is what you make it. Yeah. Well, I feel like with this Jupiter, I mean, the dreams could be bigger than you even thought. It might be a little scary to make such a big jump. I think that's what this tower is talking about, an opportunity to make a big jump. Or maybe it's a move. Maybe you're going to pick, there's this great job or opportunity, but you got to move your whole family and uproot them, and you're just like, well, I don't know. Well, of course, it's going to be different for everybody, but it really does look like very favorable, whatever this is. Like, these do feel like your own fears or something like that. I'm sorry, I thought I turned this on. There we go. I don't know if you heard that phone buzzing. So life is what you make it. Grab hold while you got the Jupiter in your sign. This could be everything you ever wanted and then some, and a bag of chips, you know what I mean? So excellent. All right, Cancers, well, lots going on for everybody, and lots is going on with the astrology. That's why I'm offering the Aries Ingress. And I'm guarantee it's going to be squaring, some of this stuff is going to be squaring some of your stuff. So we can take a look at that. And, it's more than a general reading. It's a deep dive into astrology. And I'm also going to be, as an added bonus this time, because the eclipses are falling, and then we're going to discuss the eclipses as well. So if that interests you, head over to my website where you can find about the readings and the different decks and things that I offer too, that if you want to work with any of the decks, you can find all the links and stuff. All right, next we're going to move on to the sign of Leo. Well, Leo, it's your full moon. We're kicking off the month with Bulk and a full moon in Leo. So this is going to harken back to the time when you set your intentions around your birthday. This is the halfway point. This is the point of coming to fruition. This is the point of things are coming to fruition. Things can be revealed to you. You got the Sun card. That's your card, and that's, the Sun and the Moon. Look at that wish card. Look out, Leo, and Six of Wands. Excellent. It's very powerful. The full moon also, not only could you gain some illumination from the full moon, illumination, not elimination, illumination. Be illuminated. Have that sun shine on you. So illumination from it, but with that sun shining on you, that illumination upon you, other people will notice you too. That's highly, highly likely. Okay. Gaining something, getting some kind of big gains. Wow, look at this. 10 of Cups, 3 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Are you kidding me? Wow, Leo. You have the best reading this month so far, and I think the best reading I've seen, period, for a long time here. Look at these cards. Wow. Well, I mean, you just got all the good ones. They're the best ones. You got the best cards in the deck, pretty much. Some of you are falling madly in love. Leos, you love to love, and you always do. You always are in love, you know. So it could be some big love affair, and maybe you met the soulmate of your life, the Wheel of Fortune. They treat you like a queen or a king or whatever the case. And some of you are going to be traveling together. You're going to be going on a honeymoon or some big romantic getaway or trip somewhere sunny, perhaps. But, you know, this is just all good. It's like too good. The wish card is just simply that. It's your wish is coming true. You're gonna big yes to what you want, and with it comes recognition, big time. Both of these are showing us recognition. 6 of Wands. Look at that sun. It's talking about the sun shining on you. He's got the sun shining on him. He's recognized, getting recognition, maybe even getting some kind of an award. But definitely, if you were vying for the job, the promotion, the raise, whatever you were going after, and it might have been a thing where there's other people involved too, you know, and you would get that. You're going to be your head and shoulders above the rest. This full moon is super powerful, right? Also, the sun is a solar eclipse on the 17th in your opposite sign. That could definitely, this could be about your partner. Maybe some of this is about, if you're already coupled, this could be like your partner gets this big raise or something great happens for them. Whatever it is, 10 of Cups is everybody's happy. It's not just for you, it's you sharing it. You're sharing it with your loved ones and your family. And look how you have the 9 and the 10 of Cups together. These are the 2 highest cup cards in the Tarot Minor Arcana Cup suit. And the cup cards are equivalent, in a regular playing deck, they are equivalent to the hearts, which brings us back to the sun, the heart. That's the heart chakra, that's you. That's all, you're ruled by the heart, or you rule the heart, whatever. That's your part of the body that you're connected to, and the sun is your not planet, but your celestial, they're saying celestial guidance, but it's your celestial rulership is what I was trying to say. So, I mean, it is on. And then to boot, we've got Wheel of Fortune. I mean, wow. Wheel of Fortune is probably the best card in the deck. I always joke around and say I didn't put Wheel of Fortune on the cover of my deck for no reason. You know, it's drawing, it's attracting, it's divine timing. We've got this full moon of yours. Well, all this other stuff, here's the other thing. All this Aries stuff, Saturn going into Aries, this conjunction in Aries, you're a Leo, that's right up, you're trining with that. That's going to be trining your Leo stuff. My guides have said, and you'll be on fire. Your ship is coming in, you're getting what you want, your ship's coming in. 6 of Wands, you know, getting lifted, getting that boost or that glow up, you know. Wheel of Fortune, I mean, if you gamble, I mean, of course, stay within your means, but this, you could win. You could win some kind of money or something. Somebody's going gambling somewhere. I want to say Rio de Janeiro even, or something. I'm picking up, or what's that place in the south of France too? Monaco. Maybe you're going to Monaco, or it feels like that kind of energy. Somebody's going to some place like sort of exotic location and where there's casinos and stuff. I don't know. There's the casinos in Rio de Janeiro. I've never been, but that's what they're showing me. Actually, I heard Rio de Janeiro, but what they're showing me reminds me of Monaco. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump over and get your animal totem for Leo. Whew, what a reading, Leo. The wolf howling at that moon. Well, the wolf is your pack, and this is showing over here with this 10 of Cups too. It's not just, it's you're getting that acknowledgement, but it's happiness for everybody. Wild spirit of the wilderness, impeccable instincts draw your path, needing freedom to roam far and wide, embracing the interdependency of all life. Well, I also think that that's that full moon too. He's howling at the moon. We're having the full moon eclipse. So of course that's going to be relevant, especially if you're a later Leo. If you're like closer to Virgo, because that second eclipse is at the very end of Aquarius. I can show you real quick. I'm going to be posting more readings, you know, on this as the month rolls on some of these big events. But here's you, Leo, right? And then here's Aquarius. That's what the Full moon is here, not an eclipse, but it's your full moon. And then the 17th we have the eclipse. And it's right here. It's almost in the Pisces. So if your Leo stuff is at the very end of Leo, almost into Virgo, you're going to be getting direct contact, direct oppositions. Many of you will be. And that's something, if you want to, order that Aries Ingress, we'll dive into exactly what's going on in your chart and with all this stuff, okay? It's like the astrological new year. I offer it every year, but this year is going to be ultra interesting with all this extra stuff, and I will discuss it. We will be discussing the eclipses also. Okay, next we're going to get your holy HAMSA for our Leo friends. Let's see here. Sorrow. Well, that's a big contrast to what we've been seeing, isn't it? Well, let's take a look at it. Look at the card. See if anything stands out to you. This is, of course, cards a deck that I've designed. One of my decks, the indie decks that I do. And look at the background words if anything stands out to you. If you feel like it, you don't have to. But if anything catches your eye, that could be a message. It's the same with these cards. Words, letters, shapes. Okay, tears. Or sorrow, tears, regret, sadness. Upon us all a little rain must fall, to quote Mr. Robert Plant. Life is not all peaches and cream. There are many times when we feel sorrow. This is the earthly dilemma, the dual nature of this existence. Without the lows, we would not appreciate the highs. Know that this is only a temporary state of being, and the sun will shine again. There you go. The actual shedding of tears can be a cathartic experience. Allow for the release and purge yourself of any heavy burdens that may be plaguing you at this time. Always remember, this too shall pass. Well, that whole thing about purging, that's what that's right on time with the full moon. The full moon is the culmination. Well, actually after, because we get the waxing moon, that when it goes from new to full, and then when it goes from full to new again, that's the waning moon, and that's the time of purging. New to the full is manifesting, bringing it to fruition, and then the full to the new is purging and releasing. So you, after this first, that would be a great time to do the purging and releasing. Okay, let's see here. The full moon could be, well, look at this. This reading just took a turn. What happened here? But during that full moon, you may have that awareness of what you need to purge. That's another thing. Well, I got lonely, but I'll tell you what, this reading doesn't look like lonely at all. All right, let's see here. Lots of answers. This is not now. Man, did we just jump timelines or what? What happened, Leo? No, I'm kidding. I'd go with this more strongly. A lot of times I just pull these because these are really fun to play with on your own, and it's just more or less to showcase that I made them. They're available. It says, be yourself because everybody else is already taken. Well, yeah, Leos, you don't have much problems with that. You guys are, you're definitely doing that, being yourself thing. That's you all day. Well, it's a lot. Well, it's a lot of different energy. That's the thing, too. Up, down, all over the place. But overall, these cards, I mean, like I said, this is the best reading, minus this stuff, okay? Just the tarot portion. Best reading I've seen, and I don't know when. I mean, so a lot of wishes are going to be coming true. A lot of things are culminating, 9 and 10, but 10 of Cups is culminating in a super positive way. It's the most joy, the most happiness and good stuff that you could have in your life. It could even be a marriage. Maybe somebody's getting married and could have a baby, too. It could be that, if that's what you've been, somebody's been trying for. If not you, maybe somebody that in your family here. All right, Leo, well, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check the rising and moon. If you want to dive into, this is just the tip of the iceberg with some of this astrology stuff. That Aries Ingress reading will be available for a limited time. I offer it every year. It is the astrological new year, so it's important no matter what, but it's even more important this year with that 0 Aries point and all that other stuff that's going on. So it's going to be really interesting. If you want to get in on it, head over to my website, and there will be even some other cool stuff where I'm going to throw the eclipses in there too. All right, well, thanks for, not ordering, but thanks for, well, thanks for ordering in advance, but actually thanks for watching, and we're going to move on to Virgo. All right, Virgo, well, let's see here. Sun's going to move into Pisces. And you're going to have one more eclipse. Is it this month? Or, well, not this month, but is it this round of eclipses? Sorry if you can hear my dog. Yeah, there's going to be an eclipse in your sign next month, so you got one more month to go. But even so, the sun's going to move into Pisces, Mercury's going direct in Pisces, and that's your partner house. So some stuff could be going on with your partner, or it's just oppositions. It's other people. So there's going to be a lot of activity in your other people sector, and plus the Aries stuff too. But like I said, I'm sure I'm going to do some extra videos on that. But let's do Virgo, February. 7 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and 2 of Swords. My dog keeps choking. He does that though. He's okay. He's just gotta get it out of there, whatever it is. All right, Rock. I'm sorry. Don't lay down. I'm doing the reading. Well, lay down. You'll feel better. He has water, right? Yeah, he's got water. Go lay down. Go lay down. All right. Let's see here. This is for Virgo. Sun, rising, moon. Sorry about the interruption. I probably won't remember to cut it out. So look at that. 7 of Pentacles. Double 7 of Pentacles. So me doing that extra shuffling, waiting for the dog to leave, kind of set this up. Well, some of Pentacles can go either way. I mean, I want you to look at them. I'm going to bring them up so you guys can really see. Look at the faces. If you can, this guy needs to come in a lot closer so you can see the face. What does that expression on the face seem to say to you? Especially this guy in the front. To me, it's different every time. I mean, and I think in this case, even these two are different. Because he seems tired and exhausted. That's what he said. What's Rocco's back again? Rocco, I'm trying to do the reading, buddy. You're going to have to lay down. I know. You're going to lay down for a little while. I'm going to take a break soon, and then you can go out. It's too cold out there. Okay. So we're talking about 7 of Pentacles. He looks exhausted, but he looks kind of proud of his work to me. But again, that's why I wanted you to look at it, because I want you to go with what you think. Because it could be a lot of things. This could be you've got a pile of money to work with. You've been working really hard, and you feel like at the end of the day you put in a good hard day's work. That's kind of what I'm getting from him. But sometimes it's like being worried about it. Well, I only have this much, and I got to pay this out, and I'm going to be cut short. But there's been some concerns. I mean, Virgo, you're always concerned about money. Who are we kidding here? We know that. But it might have been that there's been some struggles. Some of you, if you're waiting for some kind of legal thing or some kind of payout, the decision could be made. Because there is going to be some decision, and that sliver of that moon, that could be that new moon solar eclipse. Well, it's going to be different for everybody again, but double 7 of Pentacles, definitely a month where financial things are going to have your attention. In both cases, they're looking at that money. They both are, have their mind on their money and their money on their mind, and their eye on their money. They're keeping an eye on it. There has been some kind of dispute, conflict, or struggle. Maybe you've been looking for another job, and it's been tough because there's a lot of competition. But there's going to be a decision made. Now, this King of Pentacles here, this can also be a representation of you. It is a representation of you. But it's the earth sign person typically, which is the Taurus, Capricorn, or the Virgo. Also, the king, no matter who it's referring to, the king is somebody who definitely is good with money. They're financially, because the king is more advanced. So the king is financially stable. They're good with money. I feel lending a helping hand. I feel for most it's not really you. It's somebody else coming in. Another earth sign person or another pentacle person who deals with finances and money. And the justice is here. Some of you are waiting for a payout. I mean, again, like income tax time, maybe you're waiting for your income tax payment. But it seems like it's a result of this. Like whatever the struggle was. Or a disagreement. If there's a legal case. Or you've been fighting for, somebody's fighting for some kind of a rebate or something. Like a defective, waiting for a refund for a defective product, and they're fighting them and saying no, it wasn't. You're going to get your... if that's the case, if you've been fighting against some kind of company that sent you a defective product or something like that, I feel like you get a lawyer, and I feel like all the lawyer's got to do is show his credentials or write a letter or something, and done. They're paying you. They're not, you know, they're only going to screw you around as long as they think that you're, you know, you're just an individual. The minute you bring up the lawyer, or it feels like for many it's just a letter, like on a letterhead, you know. And you can take that as, I'm not saying anything further, you know, if it's real or not, but that's up to your own discretion. But it feels like it takes very minimal. Like, you're not going to lose your shirt trying to pay off the lawyer either. Like, they have very minimal involvement, and they just step in for a minute and say, or maybe it's even a judge, or maybe if this is a work thing, maybe this is the boss at the work too. And it's just say, hey, you know, this is too much, or whatever your gripe is here, whatever you're struggling with. And it does feel like this person is going to be cool about it and say, okay, yeah, you're right, Virgo. Well, I'll tell you what, if it's like a boss at work, they don't want to lose you. You kidding? They don't want to lose you because you're a good worker. Okay, let's see here. Let's get our animal totem for B. That came out already. I usually don't put them back in the deck, but I must have. I must have put it back in the deck. I set them aside so nobody gets the same animal totem. Well, somebody else got it, and I'm not sure who. I think it was Cancer, maybe. But it's fertility, abundance, creativity, propagation, strong connection to home and family, accomplishing tasks in a timely manner, tasting the sweet nectar of life. Yeah, and bees are also, you know, it can be the birds and the bees, like there's a sexual, could be romantic or sexual, but there's not really any showing anywhere else, but could be. For some. Maybe this is a love interest. Okay, let's get your Holy HAMSA card for Virgo Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Virgo in the chart. Wish, you got the Wish card. This is my version of the Wish card, pretty much similar to the tarot as far as the meaning goes. If you want to freeze the video and zoom in on some of the background cursive handwriting words in there, maybe you can get a message if anything sort of stands out to you. It's card number 9, which is also my ode to the tarot, because 9 of Cups is the Wish card. Okay, it says success, fruition, attainment. Your wish is coming true. A time of great abundance. This card signifies a yes to your question when it shows up in the spread. Thank your lucky stars and count your blessings, which are many. You're on a roll and the gifts keep coming. Make a wish and trust that the universe has got your back, for you are aligned with divine synchronicity, success, fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction. Wonderful things are unfolding for you in your life. Enjoy. Yeah, baby. Well, that's always a good sign to see. And, you know, the bee is very much a card of abundance, too. Okay, we've got seemingly, I did the lots of answers first. I meant to do the lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. Engaged. Somebody might be getting engaged. There's some love energy here. And then lastly, what goes around comes around. Yeah, that could be that justice too. That could very much be tied into that justice. Maybe some of you don't want to leave because you've put so much work into a place, at a situation or business or company. And it's just like, why should I just leave? You know, but if they're making your life a living hell, then maybe you do need to leave, you know. Let's see, if you're Virgo rising, real quick, again, I'll probably do more reading on this. If you're Virgo rising, that's going to be in your 8th house here. So it could be some financial inheritance or something coming your way. But you may be like, I can't, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction, blah, blah, blah. What goes around comes around. There's something else around the bend that's better, more profitable, my guides are saying, but also more where you're appreciated. Because Virgos, you're dutiful. You work hard and you're very dutiful. And you all you want is a little acknowledgement. Well, you want some money too, obviously. My dog's back again, but he's really been in your reading. You know, a little bit of acknowledgement and, you know, a pat on, good job, Virgo. Well, I'll give it to you. Good job, Virgo. All right, I'm going to pause for the cause and see what we can do with this dog after I finish your reading. If you want to get in on the, not the Virgo, the Aries ingress, Virgos. It's packed full of a lot of information. It's the astrological new year. That's why I run the chart for that. And we will also dive into these eclipses will be discussed as well. It's a psychic astrology reading. So if it interests you, head to my website. There's other readings available there, and also Patreon. There's some different readings. Have a great month, Virgo. Be back again with another reading. Hello, Libra. This is going to be your February of 2026 psychic tarot reading. Lot of astrology. If you skipped the intro, I did do a brief rundown, and I probably will be doing more videos throughout the month on some of these specific things. But all this Aries energy, not only is it affecting you because you're both cardinal signs, but it's opposing your energy. So you're going to be getting a lot of oppositions, a lot to do with other people. And the eclipse is powerful too. It's going to be trining your sign. I mean, it's powerful for everybody. And I do have that Aries ingress reading if you want to dive in, and we'll look at it specifically, what planets it's hitting and what houses and all that stuff. Okay, that's the first three: Chariot, Seven of Swords, and Queen of Cups. And then we're going to put three more cards below for Libra, Sun, Rising, Moon. This is for February 2026. If you want to look at your Venus, knock yourself out. If you want to look at your node, knock yourself out. Whatever you're compelled to watch, you don't need my permission. Okay, let's take a look. So Chariot is great. Oh, you got double Chariot. Look at that. I didn't even catch it. Two of Wands, Chariot, and Six of Cups. You've got double Chariot. Wow. Well, Chariot I've always considered to be the highest success card in the deck, okay? And it's the phoenix rising from the ashes. So no matter what's gone on, or how you feel perhaps betrayed, or that something was taken away from you unfairly, you're going to rise above it, and in a big, big way when you've got double Chariot. You can't ignore the fact also, though, that Chariot, of course, refers to modes of transportation. So it could be traveling. It might be going on 2 big trips this year. Well, this year, but this month even. Or maybe you're even going to get a new car. Or maybe, you know, somebody out there, I feel like you're going to get matching cars or matching bikes or something, like motorcycles or something. Somebody is. Like they're having a deal. I've seen that. They advertise those on those commercials, you know. I watch before Jeopardy. I'll turn on a local channel, you know. Buy one, get one, this, you know, 2 for this price. They're trying to push 2 cars off on people. But, I mean, I guess so if you have, you know, a partner or family. And you do have this 2 of Wands down here is the partnership card. It's a partnership card, so it could be, the partnership energy could be very strong. Which is, yeah, that's your jam anyway, Libra. You know, you're very partnership oriented. But boy, this 2 of Wands also is seeing the bigger picture, seeing the way to go, visioning, seeing your future. Some of you, maybe you're going to be in love with somebody and you might move to be with them. Like, I mean, move like far, like another country. I feel like somebody's in America and they're going to move to Australia or something like that. So like around the world, you know, halfway around the world, really far away. 6 of Cups is here, so that is feeling more like yourself again. This is also reconciling with the past. Some of you, this could be your children. You might be going on some like college tours or doing some traveling to see your kid perform or do some kind of thing, or some kind of traveling that's really more has to do with your kid, but you're going along too. But 2 of you, if that's the case, I feel like that could be a really good opportunity to reconnect if you've been with. If you haven't taken time to, like, the drive, it feels like it's a long drive. Like, the drive there will really give you guys a chance to talk and, you know, connect, and it looks really favorable and positive. Some of you, this is a major love interest. Well, this is somebody who's coming back from the past here. And could be in the form of the Queen of Cups. So Queen of Cups could be a water sign person, a Scorpio, a Cancer, Pisces. Could be somebody born in that time frame. Could be also that time frame. We're going to have the sun move into Cancer, into water sign of Pisces on the 18th, right after that, next day after that solar eclipse. Then the sun moves into Pisces, and we're going to be in Pisces or water sign season for the rest of the month from the 18th on. So it could be talking about that, the water sign energy. It's also could be talking, it definitely refers to, especially with the Six of Cups here, a emotional connection. There's an emotional connection. It could be a creative collaboration. You know, it's funny I kept wanting to say Cancer because in the major arcana, every sign has a major arcana card associated with it, and Chariot is the card associated with the sign of Cancer. So maybe it is a Cancer, you know, that could be as well. But there's definitely a strong emotional, I feel for many it's somebody from the past. Maybe it's your long-lost love, your first love or your first sweetheart, and you're going to go visit them, or you're going to meet up. Maybe some of you, because this whole pyramid energy is really, like, maybe you're going to meet up in Egypt or something too, you know, or they live there now, or you do, you know, or you're going to take a trip together and meet. Somebody's going to meet up in Egypt. They're coming from two different places altogether, and they're going to meet up in Egypt. And it's going to be this, my guides are saying, oh, what a grand adventure you'll have. So that sounds kind of wild and fun, huh? Wild and crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle. Ooh, came right out. I didn't even have to barely shuffle. It flew out. Cat. Well, cat energy. That's going to be your animal totem for this month. And it says stealth, huntress of the night. Ancient intelligence, familiar of the goddess. Waiting patiently for a time to act. Being flexible with balance and grace. Well, the whole thing, ancient intelligence, cats were highly valued in the Egyptian culture. We know that, right? In ancient Egypt, because there's statues. I mean, I never was that big into that mythology. Well, not mythology, or history, I guess you could say. But I know that much, that cats are part of the whole Egypt thing, for sure. I think that's how they know, you know, cats being domesticated all the way back to whenever, you know. But anyways, take it as it resonates. Let's go ahead and get your lots of proverb. No, it's not a lots of proverb, Vic. It's a holy HAMSA. I don't even know the name of my own dang decks. When I said that, I heard it. I'm not even sure I know this song. It's something like Wang Dang Doodle. You've got the health card. I've got to look that up. I think it's called Wang Dang Doodle. And it's a country, I think, a country song. Let's see here. I got to look it up real quick. Just let's see. Wang Dang Doodle song. Or is it a kid's song? It's actual song by Howlin' Wolf. Tell Automatic Slim, tell Razor Totin' Jim, tell Butchie the Knife Totin' Annie, tell Fast Talkin' Fanny, we gotta pitch a ball down the Union Hall, we're gonna romp and tromp till midnight, we're gonna fuss and fight till daylight, we're gonna pitch a Wang Dang Doodle all night long, yeah, that's Wang Dang Doodle all night long, yeah. It's kind of a blues song. It's Howlin' Wolf's a blues guy then, right? Yeah. He looks like he could be a blues guy. Well, I mean, I don't know if he looks like it, but I recognize it when I saw the picture. He is a blues guy. Yeah, because that's where I've heard it, at the Blues Jams, Wang Dang Doodle. I've probably played that song before. Well, that came up, so you take it as it resonates. Howlin' Wolf, does that resonate? You're going to go see a blues band play? Hey, maybe you're going to go take a trip to, you know, Mardi Gras. There's a lot of blues bands down there. And, you know, what do they call that, though? It's not necessarily blues. There's a specific name for the music from that region. I can't think of it. You know, with all the horn bands, you know, there's a name for it. It's slipping my mind right now. But you got the health card. So you want to maybe pay attention to that, your health, when that comes up. It says fitness, wellness, medicine. It's often been said, oh, I forgot to hold it up, didn't I? Because that thing is still, it's not big band necessarily. I might have to look that up. Take a look at this card and see if anything grabs your attention. It's jazz, I guess, but there's a word for it. New Orleans music, genre name. Dixieland, that's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, Dixieland, that's what I was trying to think of. But anyways, so health card, back to this. It's often been said that your wealth is in your health. In our modern day, our health often gets overlooked or put on the back burner. This card is a reminder to look after yourself. Check in on yourself. Are you getting enough rest, exercise? What about your diet? This may be a good time to schedule a checkup. In some cases, this card can indicate a career in the medical field, whether as a healthcare practitioner, pharmaceutical industry, or other health and fitness related vocations. Yeah. Okay, so next let's move over and get to the... I almost feel with this Chariot, like if you've been really trying to, if you've been giving up certain foods or changed your diet, I feel like your numbers are going to be great. But of course, wait till you actually see the results from your doctor before diving into that bad food that you're not supposed to have. Okay, let's see here. Lots of, it says cloudy. That's by lots of answers. Lots of love, whether it pertains to love or not. Casual. Keep it casual. Chill out. Play it chill. Okay. Double C's. Casual and cloudy. Last. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Yeah. Well, the only thing that indicates anything like that would be the Seven of Swords. That could be somebody trying to, taking away your dignity or your things like that, your pride being hurt. But yeah, I mean, whatever it is, you're going to overcome it for sure. And I like that the casuals here, I want to tie that in because I feel like it's with ease. It's not something that you're going to have to struggle for, especially when it shows up twice. It feels like just stay true to the course, stay on the path that you're on. And maybe for some of you, it could tie into some kind of past life in Egypt. If you have that vibe, if you feel like that's your energy. Okay. Hey, well, Libra, if you want to get on this Aries Ingress, it's only going to be available this month and next. I like to, if you plan on getting it, and you can spread it out and do some this, I'd like to do some this month and not just get pummeled next month. But it's a great reading. It's the astrological new year, and there's so much extra to talk about, so it's going to be a really good one for everybody this year. All right, next we're going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. I want to get a drink of water and clear the energy. Okay. All right. I almost called you Libra. We're doing Scorpio for sure. Well, again, nothing exactly directly in your sign or even in your rulership, but still everyone will be affected. And as I said, I will be doing, more videos, I'm sure. As far as just the Leo full moon, that could be a big boost to your career there. That's right on the 1st of the month here. That could be a big boost to your career, Scorpio. Let's take a look here. We've got the Hangman, followed by High Priestess, very much going inward cards, and then the Page of Pentacles. Alright, next let's do 3 cards from the Rock and Roll Tarot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 6 of Wands, King of Cups, and 4 of Cups. Alright. Well, a lot of inward energy, Scorpio. But I mean, you're a very inward sign anyway. This King of Cups over here, this could be you. It could definitely be a representation of you because it's a water sign person. But it could also be any water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. And it could also be as we move into water sign season, which we are. We're going to be moving into water sign Pisces on the 18th. So it could be all of the above. You're looking, you're seeking, you're asking for answers, you're listening. Both of these cards are listeners. That's one thing you know how to do. Scorpio will listen and watch, and they take in the whole scene. Nothing gets by a Scorpio, really. Some people are too busy scurrying, like the mouse, and it's the mouse and the eagle or hawk energy, because you have that eagle energy too. So you'll sit back and just watch and listen and scope out the situation. And that's why you're so, adept at really tuning in and picking things up. So you've been doing that, it looks like. And you've been waiting for the right time. Well, the right time could be coming here. We've got the Page of Pentacles. There's an offer coming to you. Now, it could be you've been listening away over here with these intuitive cards, trying to get the downloads, getting the messages, asking for dreams, asking for guidance, asking for symbols. And then this could be it comes. You know, this is coming out of the clouds. So sometimes it's coming out of the cloud. You know, that's out of the spirit realm. You know what I mean? But well, there's a person nearby, and again, this could be a representation of you, but I also feel this is the person making the offer for most. There's a King of Cups, or in the time of Pisces, you're going to get what you've been asking for, whether it's a raise or what you deserve, actually. Maybe you've been waiting to hear the results of a test that you took, or the results for who's going to get the job, or are they going to call me for the interview, or who's going to get the award or rewarded the money if there's some kind of competition for a contest or even a grant or some people are vying for it. You're going to get it, but not because of any kind of lucky break bullshit, right? You're going to get it because you are the best for the job. You are the one who is the victorious. You are the one that is, you're just the best. You know, it's not a handout. You earned every bit of this, Scorpio, okay? You earned every bit of this recognition, and there's going to be acknowledgement. And if it is some kind of a thing, like, for some of you, it almost feels like old school. Remember in, you had to do the science project fair? It's almost like maybe somebody did something like that, where there's a whole bunch of people, and it's just whatever. It's just some kind of local thing or something just at your school. I just lost my hair tie somewhere. It slipped off. Dang it. And then you know, you're there at the, because I'm seeing people on stage. It reminds me of like, it looks like an elementary or junior high school. And there's this, it looks like it's like sort of a science fair or talent, maybe even a talent show, but it feels more science related. And then it's almost like unbeknownst to you, you might be at this ceremony or getting this reward or giving your speech or whatever it might be. It almost feels like there's an unbeknownst to you, like somebody's in, this is for something specific, but there's somebody in the audience that saw what you did, saw your work, and they want to call you up. They want to get a hold of you. They want to give you the job. They want to hire you. They're very impressed with you. Okay, very impressed. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get the animal totem. Animal totem. Here we go. Oh, two. Somebody. These are the same two that the other person got. I must be not putting these in the right place. And again, if we're jumping time, these came out together for somebody else. So usually I have a pile over here. Once I do for on these cards and these cards, I don't reuse them. So I'd like to have everybody have their own animal totem. You got both. Well, I'm not sure the other sign that this happened, but it was these same two cards. The lightning bug is about the right opportunity for you, the right path for you. There's millions of ways, there's millions of opportunities, but only the one that resonates with you, that you're on the right frequency with, the one that's meant for you, would be the one that you're going to align with. And that's what this feels like. Like you've been going really deep and trying to really align, with what do I align with? What is right for me? Because you're highly intuitive about that stuff. A lot of people just go through life, whatever. They don't think about anything other than, and not that that's bad or wrong. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying, Scorpio, you want to know all. You want to go into the deep water. You want to dive in and discover what life's all about in the mystical arts and everything. So, you're doing this kind of a work. And it's lighting up and being illuminated too. I told whoever else this was too, it could be a big romance because it does say the call of a soulmate. And this is absolutely love. King of Cups could be love. This could be somebody who is attracted to you. Maybe that whole scene that I was seeing with I thought was a science fair or whatever. Maybe it's something like that and this person wants to date you. Maybe it's not that they want to give you a job. Maybe they just thought you were so cool and interesting and they want to meet you and learn more about you. But Hummingbird is about love and it's about fairies too, connecting with nature and fairies. Okay, let's see here. We didn't do this. So I'm going to move these up like that, and we'll put the Holy HAMSA here for Scorpio. I got to make sure I start putting them in the right position. So that means both of those got shuffled back in the deck. Wow. Okay, but this is for Holy HAMSA for Scorpio for February. Riddle. Well, riddle is that some things will just never be known. You know? Sometimes you just don't know. And you're not going to know. Were you the one that I was picking up about the maze? You know, it's like there's all these things that go on that we aren't privy to in our human consciousness, you know. We can discover some, but there's so much more that we don't know. All right, riddle, secret, unknown, mystery. Life is a mystery waiting to be unraveled. There are times when the answer is unknowable. Just as we drink the drink of forgetfulness as we enter into the earthly incarnation. Sometimes the not knowing is what makes life interesting. Perhaps there was a mystery right around the corner, a riddle to be solved, or a mysterious stranger entered your life. Well, that could be a mysterious stranger, too. Whatever the case, embrace the mystery in life and enjoy the ride. In some cases, not knowing may be your spirit guide's way of protecting you from something that will only bring you down and deter you from your soul's true path. Yeah. That ties in with, not hummingbird, but lightning bug, firefly a lot, too. You're only going to get what's meant for you, you know. Okay, let's see here. Certainly. So you got the curly shuffle, Curly Joe, certainly. And then lots of love, which may or may not pertain to love. It says head games, okay. Well, I know Scorpios are not a fan of head games. Neither am I. Okay, let's see here. And lastly, it's never too late to be who you might have been. Yeah, that's again aligning with your soul's mission and stuff. And it really looks like you guys have been doing the work. If you have been doing the work, if you've been asking, if you've been doing your dream work, if you've been meditating, journaling, writing, automatic writing, this could be the month where you have the breakthrough. You know, when all the things that you've been manifesting, working on, this could be the month where the actual big breakthrough comes through. And my guides are saying, and you come out smelling like a rose. I am smelling like a rose that somebody told me. I am smelling like a rose. Well, anyways, I'm going to make sure to put these over in the other pile so they don't get drawn again. Hey, but anyways, Scorpio, hey, if you want to get in on the Aries ingress, it's relevant to everybody. We will discuss the eclipses. We will discuss the zero Aries point, all that stuff. It's the astrological new year. So I do these readings every year, but this year is going to be jam-packed with extra information. If that interests you, head over to my website. vickieverlie.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. Next, we're going to look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Alright, Saggies, we're going to do the three things for you, the three piles. You're also a fire sign. We're kicking off the month on the 1st with that full moon in Leo, trining your fire energy. All this stuff moving into Aries, trining your fire energy. So you're really in the mix for some, some good. You can really use this energy to quick start or kickstart your whatever you're trying to kickstart. That's what they're telling me. Got some people showing up that are not you, by the way. You got King of Pentacles, Moon card, and Queen of Swords for the top row. Bottom row for Sagittarius, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who vibes with Sagittarius energy on whatever level, this is for you. We have Seven of Swords, Two of Wands. The Two of Wands has really been out a lot. Well, I think it's because of the zero Aries. Everybody's going to be making their plans. And the Fool. Somebody had a very similar thing about these new beginnings. Zero Fool is the first of the major arcana. He's totally open for whatever. He's setting his foot upon a new path. He's unencumbered. He's unburdened. Okay. Something's been taken away from you. You've been feeling cheated or not done right, these kind of energy. The Fool is talking about, well, it's time to just walk away. You know, there's no point in trying to change anybody's mind here. There's no point. Whoever this person is, they're very set in their ways. I want to say they have no remorse. And they have no empathy or remorse. They don't care. Okay, so it could be a boss at work, could be on a more personal level. But you're making other plans now, and you're ready to put your foot in motion and go. The Fool card is very Sagittarian, you know, because you guys are so lighthearted and so, you know, that's your energy a lot. I know it's not exactly your card. It's not each card, you know, each sign is assigned a card in the tarot, and that's not the one that's assigned to you. But I still feel like it's right in there with you. I'm looking at the Fool, and he's looking right up at the Moon card here. So the Moon, we are having those big lunar events. If you skip the intro, I did run over all the stuff, all the astrology. We have the full Moon in Leo kicking off the month, but we also are getting into eclipse season here. So it could be talking about the new moon eclipse and on the 17th. There's people around on either side. Some are going to be supportive and some are not. I feel like some are coming in and some are leaving. This person feels like they're leaving. Because look, this is the direction you're going in. The Two of Rods is in this direction, the Fool is in this direction, and it also encompasses, you're looking over at King of Pentacles here. And it feels like this person is looking in a different direction. Maybe there's people that just don't see life the same as you, okay? They just don't see life the same as you do. And, you know, it might be time to just part ways and make your plans for yourself. You're setting your foot on a path. The Fool is alone. This is a card of partnership, but at this minute, he stands alone. Doesn't mean alone forever. He's got the world in his hand. Much more is going to unfold on this path that he's on. But he's only in the very beginning phases of it, okay? King of Pentacles seems to be somebody that is going to be there for you in an important way. Could be the earth sign person, the Taurus, the Capricorn, or the Virgo. We're not going to have any big earth sign astrology events this month. It'll be later. I'm trying to think, well, in Pisces we will have a Virgo full moon next month at some point, but maybe it might be talking about the Virgo full moon now that I'm looking at this. Let me see, I'll just grab it for you. Even though this is supposed to be just for 1 month, let's go ahead and see when that Virgo... Did you guys get the Llewellyn calendar? It seems like it's AI art for sure, but does anybody watch Mad Men? Doesn't this dude look just like Roger from Mad Men? The February guy they have there? But let's see, when are we going to have that full moon in Virgo? Yeah, well, it'll be really early next month. So yeah, by the end of this month, it's actually the Virgo lunar eclipse. I didn't even have to look that up. Of course there is. I feel like they're talking about the Virgo lunar eclipse next month for you. That some of this stuff that's you're starting now, you're initiating now. Some of the changes, some of the people that you may be saying no more with. No more, no more, no more, no baby, I'm a dreamer, got my horse and carriage, I think that's Aerosmith, I think it's called No More, No More, but anyways, you know, you're going through some transitions and you're looking in new directions. I think that next month is going to be a bigger turning point, but I mean, everybody's affected by this, and actually the actual Aries ingress is next month, but this is all running into the same thing because we're getting so much Aries activation now, you know, so we're in a time of turmoil and change, and things are happening. But yeah, I feel like you may be going it alone, and you may be by having the bravery to step out on your own, you won't be alone for long on whatever level. You know, you'll find if this is stepping out on your own in business, maybe you're going to find a great client that's going to feed your work all the time. Maybe you're going to find an investor that wants to invest in your startup or your business or your app. It could be a lot of things. Let's go ahead and get the animal totem for Sagittarius. Turtle. Well, there we go again. That's the earth sign energy. Turtle Turtle is also traveling because they carry their home around on their shell. But Turtle is Mother Earth, Pachamama. Turtle Island is North America, and it's very grounded. It's very, I know it's of water too, but it's really a very earthy energy. It's kind of more of the earth signs. I would say it's more of a Capricorn energy because they live to be really, you know, turtles live hundreds of years or whatever, over 100 years, and that's Saturn, the wise elder. Okay, Gaia Pachamama, Great Mother, ancient remnant of a bygone era, knowledge of the ancestors, deliberate, slow, and steady movement. Yeah, so things are starting slowly, like I said, and by next month, you may be seeing more things on the horizon or be closer to actualizing, you know, what it's all about, or your dream, making this vision that you're having down here and making it being more cemented into, you know, reality. That'll be squaring too. That Virgo eclipse will be squaring your Sag stuff. That's some of the things that we can look at in the Aries Ingress, aka or / you know, eclipse reading that I'm offering, if you're interested. Okay. Freedom. Well, you know, that's a key word for Sagittarius anyway. Freedom. Freedom, I won't let you down. Freedom, you got to give what you take. Yeah, so freedom. I know it's out of key. Could have been out of key too, but it was out of focus. Take a look at some of the background words. This is one of my latest actually deck. That's my indie deck that I created. You can check it out. It's all hand drawn. There's no AI whatsoever. Okay, 45, freedom, liberation, unshackled, redemption, breaker of chains, freedom from bondage. The chains of bondage are broken and you are free to fly. In some cases, this card could signify leaving a relationship or a job or any bad situation where you felt trapped. There you go, or unhappy. You may have no more tears to cry. You have reached your limit. No more shits to give, too. I wanted to put that in the book so bad, but I left it out. Now you must summon your strength for one last push towards the next leg of your journey. Yeah, this is what the Fool's embarking on the next leg of his journey. Though it may not be easy, there is no other choice. Break free of fears and excuses that have held you back. See yourself for the untethered spirit that you truly are. Well, that is you all day long, Sag. Also, while I was reading that, I was remembering, too, when we get to April, another big event, Uranus goes into your 7th house. So that could break some long-term ties and friendships and stuff. Here we go. Lover. So maybe some of this is romantic. It totally could be. 2 of Rods could be a romance, for sure. It's a good, if you have 2 of Rods in romance, it's good. It means you have a solid friendship and partnership in which to build. It's not just, you know, hormones. Okay, let's see here. This is probably, and then last but not least, lots of, wrong bag. Oh, I did the wrong bag again. Here we go. I got it. Lots of proverb. All's well that ends well. Well, I like. Isn't that a good one? That's a good one to end the reading on too. All's well that ends well. Yeah. So, you know, we all have to go through our trials and tribulations. Maybe this ending well thing it might be kind of a surprise. You know, maybe you're all nervous about telling the boss that you're leaving the job or whatever, that, you know, telling this person that you're not going to be associated with them anymore on whatever level, and they're just kind of like, yeah, me too. What was that movie? And Meg Ryan. Is that Harry Met Sally, or is one of the other ones? Oh, it's the one where they were emailing. It's the remake of the old one where it was letters, and she has the bookstore. But she goes to have the big breakup discussion with her boyfriend and at the restaurant, and she goes, yeah, I'm just not in love with you. She's like, me either. You know, like she's totally relieved. That it could be that kind of energy. You know, that's what it sort of feels like. All's well that ends well. That it might, what you've been dreading, to having that talk or ending this, severing this tie. I think they're ready to go on to their own thing too. So, you know, let's just, you know, call it what it is, and I think everybody's going to be fine with it. Okay. All right, well, hey, Saggies, thanks for showing up and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you want a more about this, navigate these astrology things, because again, there's quite a bit here. And Aries Ingress I do every year. It's a very powerful reading in itself because it's the astrological new year, but boy, with all this extra astrology going on, there's a lot to talk about. So it's not going to be the same old Aries Ingress as we've been having, because this stuff's going to be right on it. It's going to be in conjunction with the Saturn Neptune, and so we'll dive into that, and we'll discuss the eclipses. Quick sip of water for me. Then we're going to dive into the second reading for Capricorn, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody with prominent Capricorn, if you feel drawn to this reading, then it's for you. Three of Wands, your ships are coming in. Eight of Swords, and the Devil. Okay. Next, we have the Hanson-Roberts. We're going to do 3 cards for Capricorn from the Hanson-Roberts deck. Anybody with Capricorn energy in whatever capacity. 7 of Cups. The Moon. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Ching-a-ling-a-ling. Well, this looks kind of good, you know. This stuff is very similar over here. This is the only little bit of a drawback, is you have the 8 of Swords and the Devil. Both are cards that talk about being in, like feeling in bondage. This person is just majorly stressed out, you know, tied up. They don't see things clear. They don't see a way out of it. When in actuality, there's this big gap in the swords, and they could walk out of it, but they're too in their head, or they're blind to the solution that's right in front of them. The Devil, now the Devil is in bondage too. The characters on the card are in shackles and bondage, but also in a Capricorn reading, because as I've been mentioning, if you're not familiar, every sign has a major arcana card that is associated with that sign. And your sign, your Devil, is your card, because it's the card for Saturn, your ruling planet. So it may not always be all that bad because it's your planet. It might even be a representation of you on some level. But whatever it is, it's time to break free of restraints, you know, big time. And with 7 of Cups, they're saying, you know, dream a bigger dream. Dream a little dream of me. Oh, oh, da 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 da. Da 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 da. I'm singing to my dog because he's acting up. Da 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 da. Thinking about you. Da 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 da. Sycamore trees. Dream a little dream of me. Yeah, dream a little dream of me. Rocco, you're going to have to be patient. You know I'm doing the readings. You were disrupting before, and I let you out, and now you're disrupting again. No, I'm not going for it. It's too cold outside. Sorry about the dog. But anyway, so 7 of Cups, you know, you're dreaming these dreams, and then the Moon is also a card of dreams. So the Moon is about your actual dreams, you know, like when you're sleeping and you wake up and you have that remembrance of that dream that you had. So that could be too, like, this, because this is more of a manifestation, dreaming into reality, okay? So some of the dreams that you're dreaming into reality, that you're working on your manifestation, you may be getting answers and clues and guidance coming through from your actual sleeping dreams, okay? So that could be. But also your intuition is very on point. The other thing is, with this 2 of Cups here, you got the soulmate card. It's a few things. I mean, first thing that I was going to say is that, you know, you may be visiting each other on the astral plane. If you're looking for a partner or love, you may be having visitation. That'll happen. Like, you'll kind of, your souls will make, you know, the arrangement, or you may be in contact in a non-physical form before, and to set up or, you know, create the circumstances or meet up in this actual physical form in the earth. But the other thing that I thought of too when I saw this, with the 2 of Cups with the Devil, some of you, you know, maybe your relationship has run its course, you know. It doesn't mean they weren't a soulmate. It doesn't mean that you didn't have important things to do together in this incarnation. It doesn't mean that everything that you did together and the love you shared and whatever happened was all for naught. That's not the case. It just means that, you know, maybe it's run its course here. You know, Saturn, even though stuff's not moving in your sign, Saturn going into Aries, and then the Saturn conjunct into Neptune on the 1 week apart, 13th and 17th, and then the eclipse is all in the middle of it. But that Saturn stuff, Saturn is your ruling planet, as I mentioned, when the devil, maybe that's why the devil is shown out here, to indicate, to remind me to speak of Saturn with you. Because even though it's not in your sign, it is your ruling planet. So when your ruling planet makes big moves and shifts, you feel that energy. And Saturn is the lord of the karma. So Saturn energy coming full circle here, it could be an end of a karmic cycle. Sometimes you could, you know, what do they call that? Was conscious uncoupling. You know, sometimes you could still be friends. You know, my parents were friends after they divorced. They still ran the bar together. They were divorced, and because they were each other's best friends. You know, and they stayed best friends till he died, and then she died after that. But people, it's not common, and it's probably not easy. I've never been able to do that. My Venus in Scorpio is like, yeah, and my stinger comes. I've never been able to do that. I mean, maybe a couple times, but not really. Not really if I was really, truly in there, and usually not. But, you know, sometimes that can be. Sometimes that's a possibility. Whatever the case, it doesn't seem like it's some big, you know, there's no Tower card here, or Ten of Swords, like it's some, or even three, you know, there's no big, dramatic, you know, crazy thing. For the most part, it's maybe if there is, it's all in your head, you know. But there's a soulmate energy around on whatever level. For some, it could be a soulmate that's not in the physical, who's in the spirit. Whether it's somebody that you knew in this life and they've passed on, or it could be the spirit of a child or somebody that's going to be born into this life, and you're kind of like, not their spirit guide, but their earth guide. You're meant to be like their earth guide, you know. So that you're working with them on the spirit realm kind of energy. But ships are coming in. There's some success there. Dreams are coming true. The moon also could be talking about these, you know, the eclipses. You know, the 17th, we got the, if you skip the intro, listen, there's all the astrology there. A lot of, I mean, there's just so much. That's why I'm telling everybody too, you know, if you want to dive into this as far as your personal planets, this is a great year to order the Aries Ingress. I know many order every year. It's the astrological new year, but there's so much other stuff that we'll be looking into and talking about in that reading this year. All right, let's get our animal totem for Capricorn. I'm trying to pull one out. The sheep, yeah. Something about lie down with the sheep. I'm getting my wires crossed. I'm hearing lie down with the sheep, but something about swim with the fishes. But I think what I'm mixing it up with is you can't hoot with the owls and rise at dawn or something. I'm going to have to look them both up. Hold on, Capricorn. Oh, okay, so lay down with the sheep expression, saying, the lion and the lamb, yeah, shall lay down together. That's exactly what I was thinking of. The lion and the lamb shall lay down together. It is cited a prophecy of a coming utopia. Nice, right? That's exactly what that is. Okay, now let's get what the second one is. You can't hoot with the owls and rise with the... Let's see if it'll fill it in for me. Yeah, you can't hoot with the owls, then soar with the eagles. Yeah, you can't stay up all night partying and engaging in responsible activities and then be productive the next day. Yeah, that was, I was getting my wires crossed, but all could apply. But yeah, there's something really peaceful and nice about this energy too. Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. Sacrifice, vulnerability, innocence, humility, stillness, peace, quiet. That's all under the moon energy too. Prophetic dreams, uncover ancient knowledge. Prophetic dreams. I was talking about prophetic dreams quite a bit in this reading, right? Okay, let's jump over and get our Holy HAMSA card for the Capricorn Collective for the upcoming month of February. Love. Well, it's gonna lay down right next to the soulmate. So some of you may be falling in love. I knew that we were falling in love. 'cause you tell me all the things I was thinking of. Ooh, still off. Okay. Number 36. Thinking of. I have to change key to get it. We're together every single day. All right, love. Well, this is pretty. One of my pretty cards. These are cool. You know, I hand illustrated these cards, and this is an indie deck. So if you like to have indie decks and support indie creators, please check it out. But anyway, so love, and it's right next to the soulmate card. Maybe some of you are attracting this great mate into your life. Could totally be, but maybe it's still in the, you know, you're getting together on the astral plane, like I mentioned. Joy, elation, happiness. Love is a canvas furnished by nature and embroidered with imagination. Oh, this is that poem that came through. I wrote it down, but it was a channeled poem. Love is the tool, the jewel, the rule. Love is the light, the right, the might. Love is the feel, the heal, the real deal. Love is all. Okay. The love card goes beyond the scope of romantic love. This card encompasses love of all kinds. Family, friends, pets, even love of life may be the focus. When the love card shows up, you can be sure that love is on the way. If already attached, you may be going through a phase of closeness and connection. Yeah. All right, let's jump over. They're flashing me on something. I don't even want to say it because of the sheep. I don't know if any of you remember that movie. And not Gene Hackman, Gene Wilder played the guy. I think it must have been a Woody Allen movie. And he's in love with his sheep. But anyways, let's get your lots of love. Hate. It's a bitter line between love and hate. Well, could be. Could be, you know, if you stay too long, sometimes that shit does turn to hate. Okay, let's see here. Uncertain. I want to say with this, especially with the moon, like there's no certain, there's no guarantees in life. Then lastly, make hay while the sun shines. Yeah, whatever this is, you know, it's not good. They're not going to wait around forever. I know Capricorns, you like to take it slow and easy, and you're cautious when entering relationships. And I get it. I'm a Capricorn native, too. I like that. If somebody comes on too strong, you know, it's just like, whoa, slow down. Slow your roll there, dude. Let me talk to you and feel your vibes. You know, I'm not just ready to rush madly into anything at this phase of my life, you know. So, but this, what I got out of this is going to be around forever. With this make hay while the sun shines, you know. You got to act when it shows up, when it's in divine timing with the universe. And it looks really favorable and positive, you know. You sometimes you'll shut yourself out too there, Capricorn, because the Hermit card is not your card either, but I associate that card because of the wise elder stuff. I associate that also with Capricorn energy. And you can be the hermit. You know, you could throw yourself into work. That's another thing that Capricorns love to do. Virgos and Capricorns love to throw themselves into work. And even Aries to some extent. But this is something that you've been, and it could be a secret. It feels secret. You know, it's not something you're broadcasting or telling everybody about. It's like your own private wish or dream or vision. And a soulmate's going to show up on the horizon, and it's going to come in gently, with flow. It's not going to be some big shocking thing. It's more gentle flow. You know, that does have that lion right there on the top. So it could even be that full moon in Leo right on the first. We're going to have that full moon in Leo in bulk on the very first day. So it looks like, you know, open your heart there, Caps, because some stuff's going to be showing up. It's time to be more intuitive and inward and rid yourself of some of these full moon eclipses. You could do that double work of getting rid of, you know, things that no longer serve you, basically. All right, well, you're another cardinal sign, too, so all this Aries stuff is going to square your Capricorn stuff. So, and if you want to dive in deeper, plus the Aries ingress is the astrological, you know, New Year, so it's an important reading anyway. I do it every year, but also because there's just all this other stuff going on, and we'll touch on the eclipses and all that. And we're going to move over to Aquarius as soon as I get a drink of water. Just a mouthful. cleanse my palate, so to speak. Well, let's get 3 cards right off the bat for Aquarians. Sun, rising, moon, anybody. If you resonate with Aquarius energy on any level, this is for you. You got the 8 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and 10 of Cups. Yay. Next we got 3 more cards from the HAMSA and Roberts. 1, 2, 3. King of Fire, King of Cups, and the Moon. Well, the Moon's been out quite a bit, but, you know, we're having the new moon eclipse in your sign, okay? And this is the first time there's been eclipses in your sign for some time here, for, you know, a good, well, it wouldn't have been a solar eclipse, it would have been the other way around, but that would have been, well, maybe, you know, 8, 9 years ago, and then it was 18, 19 years ago when it was, this pattern was there, you know, again. So it's you know, it's opening up. I mean, you got Pluto energy, a lot of, you know, Aquariuses are really going through big changes, but, I mean, if anybody, I think Aquarius, you are up for it, you know, you hang on. I'm hearing that Hang On Loosely song. Hang on loosely, but don't let go. If you're feeling alright, babe, you're gonna lose control. Something like that. Hang on loosely. I might be singing a different song melody, because I think that was Dreamweaver, actually. Well, maybe they copied it from Dreamweaver. Who knows? You know, it's all of the above. Something you're working on. You're gonna be, if you're ready to debut it. I don't know if I would debut it on the day of the solar eclipse. I mean, that might be a little bit too crazy, you know. But this solar eclipse is going to bring in, somebody's going to be real interested in it. The results that you're hoping for are going to be great. 10 of Cups, it's more than you ever hoped for. You're super happy. You're super taking the whole family out to celebrate or something like that. For some of you, because all these other people are showing up, maybe one of these, if you're in a long-term relationship, this could be your partner. Maybe your partner got the big, or sold the patent. Somebody's going to sell a patent, and they're going to get some money for it, and it's quite a good amount. I feel like you're just like, well, maybe there's something there that you have and that you worked on, and maybe you just worked on it for fun and you weren't really sure, or you've been, yeah, I'll buy that website domain and I'll hang on to it, you know, something like that. Check into it. Check into if there's anybody would be interested in buying it, because I think you're going to be shocked at how much. It's reminding me of the Antiques Roadshow when they come, oh yeah, I had this thing in my family and it's worth $1 million or whatever. That, you know, they have these great, when they have this big surprises, the big reveals. But money's coming from your efforts, from the efforts that you've been putting in. Now, for some, I feel like this could be a partnership. It could be one of your partners, all of the above. It's not just one or the other. This could be, they feel like they're a team. They feel like it's Johnson & Johnson or whoever, you know, whatever. They're the names on the building for somebody there. You know, Johnson & Johnson, or, you know, Sanford & Son or whatever, you know. It's some kind of, I'm picking up that there's a name like that, and it's the name of the company. So, I mean, like, you know, they threw Sanford & Son out there. It might just be a small company or a small whatever. It doesn't have to be a major corporation, you know, or some kind of construction company, you know, or plumbing. For somebody, it's some kind of Plumbing and Sons company or something like that. But they're going to help you out a lot. So maybe if it is a plumber, you're going to get your plumbing taken care of there. But maybe, you know, my first instinct was more like, you know what they're showing me? They're showing me the 2 guys from the Eddie Murphy movie, Trading Places, Mortimer and whoever, those 2 brothers, you know. And but I don't think that's not that situation where they screwed both the guys over, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. It's a different kind of situation. Like, they want to put you to work. They admire your work, or, you know, this feels like long-term success. And for not only you, your whole family. Like, you'll be able to do things with the family that you maybe get a college fund for your kids, or even your grandkids or nephews or whoever. You know, you'll be able to help. Or if you want to help out your parents or somebody who's having a hard time, you're going to be in a position, or your kids, you know, help out your kids. You're going to be in a position to do so. And these guys, they seem to really have the power, you know, or like they may run a publishing house, or, you know, like they're the top dogs, whoever they are, and they work together, but they're a friend of you. You guys are on the same wavelength. There's a vibe. There's a good vibe going on. And you kind of maybe even have a dream or a premonition or inkling about it or something. Or maybe a deja vu, like you feel like you met them before, or one of them before. And maybe you have. Maybe you've met them in even a past life, but even on the astral plane there, you know, it could be all of that stuff. I'm getting your animal totem. Goldfish. That's extremely lucky. And this one does not come out that often. This is extremely lucky and good fortune. That's why in like Chinese restaurants and stuff, they always have goldfish tanks and goldfish, you know, emblems and different things, because that's where that comes from. It's Asian. Luck, serenity, prosperity, wealth, fluid imagination, losing track of time, celestial connections, altered states, omens of auspicious developments. Ooh, omens. Yeah, dreaming, having these dreams. If you had some kind of dream or weird deja vu thing, don't be so quick to brush that off, because there could be some really cool stuff coming through that way. Especially around that eclipse for that. That eclipse could really, you know, crack something wide open for you. Alright, let's go ahead and get the Holy HAMSA. Nirvana, that's it. This is the last card of the deck. It's reaching that attainment. Take a look at it. This is, by the way, my indie deck that I created. Hand-drawn. There's no AI art in this whatsoever. Lovingly hand-drawn, every bit of it, by me. Okay, let's see here. Nirvana. Wisdom, completion, enlightenment. A place of peace, a spiritual awakening. The journey to nirvana or enlightenment is never ending. Once we set our foot upon the spiritual path, we traverse many trials and tribulations on our life's journey. The Nirvana card acknowledges that you have reached some point of spiritual mastery, or it is within your grasp at this moment. The card may symbolize a beacon of light, a path to adhere to, a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a state of being that we may fall in and out of, yet we keep striving to maintain. Continue moving through the stages of enlightenment and quest for higher knowledge. Well, that's your jam. You do request, not request, maybe request, but quest. You know, you are interested in higher knowledge. You know, you are. We attribute that learning thing to Sagittarius, but you're very learned too. You want to learn about science and, you know, technology. That's all right up your alley. Lots of love, trust. Yeah, take it as it's done. This could be something savings and trust, like a bank name too. Because I keep picking up, you know, Johnson and Johnson, or it's like two name thing for somebody. Okay, let's go ahead. It's freaking snowing out there again. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm in the northern hemisphere in the northern United States and Lake Erie region. And it's ridiculous, the snow. I just can't even take it. I mean, actually, the snow's not the worst part. It's just been bitter cold. I know a lot of people are going through it, but I'm tired of shoveling. Okay, this is not about me shoveling or the snow that's coming down out there again. This is for Aquarius, lots of answers. It says, plainly. I just looked out the window and saw a bunch of snow. I'm like, you freaking kidding me? No way. Alright, one more. Lots of proverb for Aquarius. It says, don't cry over spilt milk. Well, I don't see you really doing that from the rest of this reading, but, you know, take it as it resonates. Maybe that applies to some of you. For somebody, this is a spirit who used to say that. They're in spirit. They used to say that to you. Like a dad, grandpa, you know, somebody it's their older neighbor. that told you not to cry over spilled milk. So that's just their way of coming through, is what I'm getting. All right, Aquarius. Well, again, you know, I've got the Aries Ingress reading, which is a psychic astrology reading, but we'll go into these eclipses, particularly, you know, the eclipse in your sign, the first time in a while. So, well, everything is, there's so much. So this is going to be one of the best Aries Ingress, or the most packed full of information that we've had in a few years. So we'll be, if you're interested, head over to my website. This is the icon of what the reading looks like. Check it out. I do it every year, but it will be available again for a limited time. It's the astrological new year. All right, next we're going to take a look at Pisces. Well, happy birthday, Pisces. Oh, I forgot to wish happy birthday to Aquarius. If you're still watching Aquarius, happy birthday. But happy birthday to Pisces. And the sun is going to move into your sign on the 18th, the day after the eclipse. And Mercury's going retrograde in your sign also on the 26th. So we can't quite make that out, huh? Get everything in the screen. So, you know, we're moving into Pisces season. Saturn is officially out of your sign as of the 13th. So I know that's going to come as a relief to many Pisces. Let's get our first three cards. We have the Five of Cups. Oops. The Ace of Cups was the second card that was under there. Three of Pentacles, and then the Two of Swords. Three more cards for Pisces. Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who resonates with Pisces energy. Snow, snow, go away. Come again some other day. Vickie doesn't want a shovel. All right. Here we go. Pisces, Sun, Rising, Moon. Let's see what we got. We've got Queen of Cups. That's a representation of you. Eight of Wands. Things are moving quickly. And Two of Pentacles. Interesting that you have Two of Pentacles and Two of Swords. You've got double twos. I feel like that's relevant in some way, that it's a timer. So it might be in 2 weeks, 2 months, something from 2 years, you know, something along those lines. You're trying to make some big decision. There's also a big tie-in to something from the past. Something from the past that you gave up on. There's still full cup. There's still hope. I feel, but with this card showing next, I feel that there's going to need some adjustments. It's not just like, it's not only a timing thing. Timing could absolutely be it, especially with, you know, that Aries, that moving out of your sign. That Saturn moving into Aries out of your sign, and Neptune did last month. So it could be, that could be part of the timing thing. Maybe Saturn was really making it difficult, but usually Saturn makes things difficult only because it wants you to, for your highest good. But sometimes it's like, well, it was just the wrong time, and you could just try it again. You can try it again, but you're going to have to tweak it. There's going to have to be, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, my guides are saying. Go back to the drawing board and tweak it. I don't feel like it's major tweaks. Like they're showing me now these edits I've been doing. It's just little things. It's just, you know, could be tedious, which I know you're not a fan of that either. I'm not either. But whatever you're working on. Some of you might be going back to school. If you never finished your degree and you always said, one of these days I'm going to go back and go to school, or I'm going to go back and get certified, or get my teaching certificate, or whatever the case may be. Even maybe Reiki or something like that. Maybe some of you are going to go on to be level 3 Reiki if you're only level 2. You know, something like that. It feels like you're going to go after it again, reattack it. And then it's going to come out to your satisfaction, and then you're going to be ready, you know, ready to go crazy with it, ready to put it out there. It may not be the financial returns. Hold on. I'm going to cough again. Hold on. The financial returns may not show up instantly. That may take a little while to develop. See, if you're doing this as a side hustle, you may still have to work your other job too for a while, or your other source of income. Looks like there's going to be 2 sources of income. But with things moving quickly, and I feel like this they're saying it's a divining moment or deciding moment, divine moment. I feel like by going back over it, well, even like I read the one book I wrote. I was in a rush because I wanted to get it out by 2012, the Athvar book, Starseed. which I would love to see. It's really meant to be a movie or TV show, but I went back and tried to kind of read it a little bit. I rushed through it and to get it out before 2012, but it needs a lot of polishing, you know. Because once you step away from something and you go back to it, then you say, oh yeah, you get like a fresh look at it, a fresh eyes. So if you've been thinking about deciding whether should I drag that old thing back out again and look it over, at least look it over. Or look out for the temperature, you know, the temperature of you know, because maybe some things have changed. So many things have changed. Like, if it's self-publishing, you know, when I first started on self-publishing, it was not called Kindle Direct. They had another name under it. But now it's all under the umbrella of, Create Space, it was called, yeah. And it was hard, and it was complicated. Or like I was mentioning in one of the readings recently, like trying to get a song copywritten was really hard and complicated back in the day. But so many things now are so streamlined. Or maybe you tried to build your own website and it was just like it was too hard. Now that's all streamlined, you know, and it's much easier. I feel like that's going to be a part of it for many too. Like something that, this past thing, it's going to be way easier for you now. Partially because your state of mind, like you've got fresh eyes, but also by technology or whatever has changed since you last did it. There's things in that realm that's going to make it way easier for you this time. Alright, let's get your animal totem. Don't get discouraged if you're not making big bucks right out of the gate, my guides are talking about here with the Two of Pentacles. That's going to come. You know, do what you love and the money will follow. We got the Hawk. There's another one that doesn't show up very often. But Hawk is definitely rising high. Okay? Perched high above, you peer down on the world below. Zero in on your target. This could mean zeroing in on your target too. And act swiftly with a mighty force. You have the ability to soar to great heights, or vast heights, it's saying. Yeah. See, so there's a promise of success. You got to go over it again. Maybe you need, or maybe it's not even go over. Maybe it's just got to, you know, get your credentials in order. You got to get certified, or get your degree or your teaching certificate. I keep getting for somebody. Maybe you already have a degree, but you need an additional thing. Whatever this is. Oh, is that my ring? Oh my God! Oh, it's a ring. It's a ring. It's not the one I hoped it would be. I thought I was going to find my music note. I saw a shiny silver thing in the pouch. Well, it's a ring. I found my moon ring. My moon, I think the star broke off of it. Yeah, it was like a star or something there. I never did find that music note ring. And thanks for people were asking in the, you know, commenting in the comments, and I looked in the drawers in different places that you mentioned, and I did not find it. Oh darn! I mean, this is okay, but it's actually broke. I'm not mourning. I didn't even know that I lost this ring. Okay, but I was mourning the loss of that other ring. Well, I thought I found it. Well, the Hawk though, zeroing in and the ability to just go to the vast side. Oh, I haven't done the other card yet. I got so excited when I saw that silver ring shining in the pouch. I thought, that's my ring. There's another ring I lost decades ago. I think one of my kids' one friend that she had, I knew she was, you know, she was one of those, you can just tell they're troublemakers. And I just put some whammy on her, and then her family moved, so they didn't hang around with her. Because, you know, the minute you tell your kid not to hang around with somebody, that's the person they're going to want to hang around with. But it was during the time that they were hanging around with that girl that my gorgeous tiger's eye ring I had disappeared. I never have found it, and that was my favorite ring. It was a beautiful tiger's eye, but also it had all this intricate, like Celtic knot kind of things on the sides and going down. It was just a gorgeous, gorgeous ring. I just loved it. I paid a fortune for it. I bought that ring on my own. I bought that for myself because I loved it so much. I think I even had it in layaway too. And I never found that ring. I mean, the little music note one, it was cute and I liked it a lot. It was one of my favorites, but, you know, it's not irreplaceable. You can buy them, you know, I could probably go on eBay or Temu or whatever and find another one cheap, but nothing. I've never found anything close to that gorgeous tiger's eye ring that I had. It was a golden tiger's. I have a gold one and a green one, and it was just incredibly gorgeous. I love that ring so much. But anyways, this is about Pisces. And we're going to get your Holy HAMSA. Mend. Yeah, Mend is card 40. Let me pull it up here. Okay, Mend. It's about mending fences. Peace. Making peace. Let's see here. I'll read what I initially wrote. Again, if you're not familiar, this is a deck that I've created. This is a deck I've created. And this is a deck I've created. I'm an indie deck creator, and I draw by hand. I don't. Even though this is using some of the Rider-Waite Smith, I had to clean it up because you wouldn't believe how messy the lines were. So I drew them by hand, but it's not exactly all my art. But these are all my art, and these are all my art. Okay, Mend, card 40. Forgive, reconcile, compromise. Lay down your sword, time to make peace. Your heart is healing, and you're ready to move forward again. The Mend card talks about mending fences, making peace with the past, and moving on to greener pastures. There are beautiful flowers blooming just on the other side if you have the eyes to see. Yeah, there are. See, beyond the obstacles of the fence, if you can get back past this, there's beautiful flowers on the other side, right? If you've had a falling out, it may be time to bury the hatchet, whether it is to extend the olive branch or the other party involved. Reconciliation is a definite possibility. Well, that could be, the Five of Cups could be that too, where you had a falling out with somebody, and then maybe they're going to show up again. But this is really your card. I mean, it could be, I don't know if I mentioned, it could be another water sign person as well, like Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. But I really feel like it's you, and it's Pisces season too. We're entering Pisces season as of the 18th. Okay, let's get our lots of love, fun. So let's have some fun, Pisces. Well, you're going to be able to lighten up and have a lot more fun now that Saturn's out of there. That's going to be a big relief I feel many Pisces are going to feel. It says allegedly. So it's alleged. When I put that down, they drew my attention back over to this card. So if we're going to really truly mend fences, then we can't be going, but you said this, he said, she said, pointing those fingers anymore. If we're going to move past it, we're going to move past it. Are we just going to drag the same old crap? No. That's not healing. Okay, let's see here. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So there's these twos here too, and then it mentions two. So there must be something to that I'm not really getting. But there's things about two opportunities. Okay, let's break this down. Let's unpack that. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. So that means the thing that you have is better than the thing. Something now is better than something that's promised or that may or not be coming. Whatever's right in front of you now is what you want to maybe try or take. I feel like it's saying you had a good idea. You had a good idea here, Pisces. It just, again, needs some tweaking. And again, maybe the places where you got stuck, like, again, maybe you're not good at building websites. Well, they can build websites, build themselves now. It's so easy, Or maybe you didn't have a great website or couldn't afford a good website designer in the past. Or maybe, you didn't know, you weren't that swift at social media, but now you are, or one of your kids is, Whatever the holdup was before, whatever was wrong, you're going to fix it, okay? And you're going to fix it, and things are going to... Saturn may have held you back for a reason, just so that you could... I feel for many it's something having to do with technology, like all the stuff I was saying, like the technology had to catch up to make it easier, It was just too cumbersome, and you don't have a lot of patience for cumbersome and tedious stuff, Pisces, in general, You're very creative, you're visionary, all that good stuff. You can see what others don't see, that hawk eyes, But tedium, that's your opposite sign. That's the Virgo side of the equation, And you're going to be having some eclipses too. Now, not this round of eclipses, but in August, one of them is going to be... Virgo and you are going to be starting to have some eclipses, or maybe that's already been happening. But you're still winding down. You're still in it. I know for sure from all the year ahead readings that I did that there's an eclipse coming up for you in August. August 28th, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a ways off. The Aries ingress is the astrological new year. It's the first quarter of the year. It's a forecast for at least the first 3 months, if not the entire year. We'll definitely dive into all this astrology stuff. You know, we're gonna talk about that Aries energy. We're gonna talk about the Saturn conjunct Neptune. We're gonna talk about the eclipses. So that'll all be included in the Aries ingress this year. So that's also a very popular reading. It's probably my second most popular reading of the year. If you want to get in on it, anything you want to get in on related to me, you've got to go to my website. Please don't listen to those people on social media who are messaging you. They're frauds. Not only by me, they're pretending to be me, but they pretend to be all kinds of people. It's complete BS. It's not real. Okay? All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great... I'll be coming back this month, too. We'll be popping in, and we'll be diving into some of these things as, you know, collective general readings for all signs. But it's a lot. I mean, again, I said it at the beginning. It's the shortest month of the year, but it's maybe the most impactful. It's like almost every couple days there's some big event happening. So it's major. Big time. Hold on to your whatever. Whatever you got to hold on to stay steady through this crazy wild ride that we're on. And I'll talk to you guys again. Have a great month. Till next time. Happy birthday one more time. Happy birthday one more time. Pisces.